Aye.
Aye. Motion carries 6 in favor, 1 absent. All right. Item number 1 on the municipal docket is the vote on the docket. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Geis.
I make a motion to approve the municipal docket.
We have a motion by Alderman Geis. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Dupree. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please. Aye.
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 Motion carries 6 in favor, 1 absent. All right. Is Alderman Johnson on Zoom? We're trying to get her in there. All right, thank you, sir. All right, number 2, the consent agenda. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Bostic.
make a motion to approve the consent agenda items A through HH.
HH. We have a motion by Alderman Bostic. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Young. Is there any discussion? The agenda I have stops at DD. What?
This is a new one that he put out.
I don't have it.
He's bringing it to you, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. All right, is there any discussion on the consent agenda? All right, roll call, please. Aye.
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 All right, motion carries 6 in favor, 1 absent. The next item is the claims docket. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Geis.
I make a motion to approve the claims docket. General Fund, $280,563.19. The Library Fund, $1,805. The Economic Development Fund, $2,487.75. The Utility Fund, $414,527.78, for a total docket of $699,383.72.
We have a motion by Alderman Geis. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Young. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Motion carries 6 in favor, 1 absent. All right, we are down to number 4, special gifts and presentations. Letter A is something I imagine everybody's familiar with. National Wreaths Across America, where at Christmas time they place Christmas wreaths on the tombstones and graves of our veterans. And coming before us tonight to tell us about it is Ms. Kathy Copeland and Mr. Lee Ashcraft. Do you need their addresses, Ms. Julie? All right. Which one of you fine people is going to speak? All right, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for this time. I am Lee Asheville, Kathy is on my left, and we are here representing National Wreaths Across America and also the Bethlehem Cemetery. This is the first year that we have undertaken to do Wreaths Across America at the cemetery. It's located at the Bethlehem Church at Reform Lake Road and Church Road. I want to mention that Wreaths Across America is a national nonprofit organization. It was founded in 2007. It's headquartered in Columbia Falls, Maine. Last year, there were 4,900 participating cemetery locations in every U.S. state and territories. Last year, they honored the lives of over 3 million U.S. servicemen and women by placing a wreath at each grave. At Arlington alone, there were over 259,000 wreaths that were placed by over 32,000 volunteers, just to give you an idea of the size and scope of the program. In Mississippi, there are 61 participating locations, only one, though, currently in DeSoto County, and that's Blocker Cemetery in Olive Branch. So we plan to be the second location here in the county. As I mentioned, we're located at the corner of Church Road and Horn Lake Road. The cemetery is about 175 years old. It was established back in the 1840s, and we have a number of veterans there. We have identified about 150 veterans from all services, from every war, from the Spanish-American War, Civil War, of course, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Iran, Iraq, rather. And so these men and women are from this area. Many of them you probably know and remember well. They lived here, worked here, died here, and died for the freedoms that we enjoyed today in many cases. They served our city, our county, our state, and our nation well, and they certainly deserve to be remembered. Kathy?
All right, so what do we want to do? We want to bring Wreaths Across America to Horn Lake, and we're asking for your support. And when we ask for your support, yes, we'd love some financial support, but more importantly, we also want your promotion and to help us promote this and to attend our ceremony, which will be December the 13th at New Bethlehem Cemetery at 11 o'clock in the morning. Each wreath costs $17 a piece. And as Lee mentioned, in our cemetery, we've identified at least 150, we believe we've got more than that, veterans that we'd like to honor. Wreaths Across America is a national program, and its mission is to remember the fallen, honor veterans both present and past, but more importantly is to educate the young people that they know that freedom comes with a price tag. And that's what we'd like to do. How are we fundraising? We're kicking it off right now, to be honest with you. So it's a great idea. We think it's a great idea. Bring a lot of exposure to Horn Lake and the northern part of DeSoto County. So we plan to go to veterans groups. We plan to go, Horn Lake has an incredible alumni association. I don't know if you're aware of that. And they support Horn Lake High School better than any other alumni association I know. So we plan to promote it there, businesses, and of course the families who have members in our cemetery. So we're asking for your support, and we hope that you'll get behind this and help us promote it. Thank you. If you have any questions, we'll be happy to answer any.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you and Mr. Lee for being here. It's a wonderful program. I think everybody's seen it on TV at Christmas time. Now, does the city of Olive Branch give any funding for the thing at Blocker?
You know, I know they do, and I know they are a sponsor. Now, exactly how much, Alan, I couldn't tell
But they
you
do
that.
contribute city
They
funds.
do, and they're a significant sponsor, and they help promote it very vigorously.
All right, and,
That's how I first heard about it, to be honest with you.
well, I think Miss Julie explained this board likes to do matching. Do you have any funds in there at all now?
We're just getting started. We've just started our fundraising, so we've got just a little bit. We've got like $320. And as you can imagine right now, to provide wreaths for 150, we've got to be somewhere in the area of 2,500. So we're kicking it off, but as we mentioned, this is just our first time out of the chute on this.
Yes, ma'am. Does anybody on the board have any questions or comments? Alderman Boston.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Julie and Jim, do we have all the paperwork needed to do this? Everything else, okay.
And I apologize, I didn't realize this was matching, and I promised Julie that I would keep in touch with her on the funds we do raise.
That's my fault, because when you spoke about it, I forgot to say matching.
That's all right.
That's my fault. Does anyone else have any comments, or? Alderman Young.
Thank you, sir. You got like a partial packet here,
Yes, I know,
which is fine. It's fine, Kathy. It's no big deal. What I'd like to do, I mean, you're only asking for $1,000.
so we're starting out, but if it's matching, we're not
Right.
sure where we're going with this.
Well, I understand. What I'd like to do is, you know what all you gotta have?
Yes, sir.
You know, everything you gotta turn into Mr. Jim and Miss Vicky to get
Right,
that
I've
done.
been working with
How long do
Vicky.
you think it would take you to do that?
Oh, to get everything in? I don't know. I'll get with her tomorrow, and I'll get it to her as quickly as I can.
Okay, that's good. Mayor, what I'd like to do is go ahead and make a motion to give them $500 now, and then they can come back before the board, the new board, and ask for additional money once they come forward with all of their stuff to finish the $1,000. I mean, that would almost be a match.
Well, what do you think about making that motion contingent on the fact they get that
Do
in,
that? Sure.
get that information in?
All right, well, I'd make the motion, go ahead and give them $1,000 as requested on the fact that they are turning in all the required paperwork and it's deemed necessary and complete by Ms. Vicky and Mr. Jim.
We have a motion by Alderman Young. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Bledsoe. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
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 Was Alderman Johnson's an aye? Motion carries 7 in favor, none opposed. Thank y'all for that wonderful project you're
Thank
doing.
you very
I can't
much.
wait to see it at Christmas time, and thank the board for supporting such a patriotic endeavor. It's gonna be
We
beautiful.
plan to do you proud, I promise. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kathy. Thank you, Mr. Lee. All right, we are honored tonight on number 4 to have as a special guest under letter B, our state representative, Mrs. Hester McCray. Good evening, State Representative. How are you?
Motion to adjourn.
I didn't do no speeding today. I'm not here to ask for anything. I am
Usually we
here,
ask you.
I'm here to honor Mayor Latimer upon your retirement. I'm going to read this for you. State of Mississippi, a proclamation by the Speaker of the House of Representatives and Representative Hester Jackson McCray, commending and congratulating Mayor Alan Lattimore upon the special occasion of his retirement as mayor of the city of Horn Lake, Mississippi. Whereas Mr. Alan Lattimore, the distinguished mayor of Horn Lake, Mississippi, is being honored upon the special occasion of his retirement after 12 years of selfless service to the residents of Horn Lake, and whereas Mayor Lattimore was elected on June 4th, 2013 as the 5th mayor of Horn Lake, and prior to becoming mayor, he served as a member of the DeSoto County Board of Supervisors for 8 years until 2011, which speaks to his passion for public service. And whereas a long-life resident of Horn Lake, Mayor Lattimore is the son of Roger and Lucy Lattimore, who were well-known entrepreneurs who owned and operated Bullfrog Corner Store from 1924 through 1969. And taking notes of the success of his parents, he also became an entrepreneur and owned and operated Goodman Road Package Store in Horn Lake for 27 years. And whereas reared with knowing the importance of earning an education, Latimer attended Horn Lake School by the railroad for his primary and secondary education, grade 1 through 12, and graduated from high school in 1965, and then continued his education by earning a degree from Northwest Community College and then Christian Brothers College. And whereas Mayor Latimer, as the ultimate servant of his community, gave back in his role as an educator, where he taught school at South Haven High School from 2001 to 2013, and positively influenced the mind of countless students throughout his 12 years of service within the school system. And whereas a pillar of his community, Mayor Latimer is a member of Son of Confederate Veterans, Son of American Revolution, and the Knights of Columbus. And he has been a devoted member of Christ the King Parish for over 40 years. And he is known for his lifelong passion of collecting and running model trains, which bring him so much joy. And whereas Mayor Latimer, throughout his successful administration, was lovingly supported by his late wife of over 42 years, Joan Ann Starcher Latimer, and their daughter Colleen Latimer Sears, and their grandchildren Courtney and Cole. And whereas it is most fitting to honor the impressive legacy of remarkable service of Mayor Latimer, who has for over 12 years served the city of Horn Lake with unparalleled honor and dignity. Now, therefore, as members of the House of Representatives of the state of Mississippi, we do hereby commend and esteem public servant of Alan Latimer, which has lifted indelible positive marks within the city of Horn Lake, and express best wishes and continued success in all his future endeavors. This, the 6th day of June 2025, Jason White, Speaker, House of Representatives, Hester Jackson McCray, District 40, House of Representatives.
Thank you so much. To say that I'm shocked would be an understatement. And there's no way I can thank Representative McCray and the House of Representatives, this board, and the citizens of Horn Lake for this presentation. All I did was be up here. Y'all did all the work. And I want to thank y'all for everything that you have done to make this a great city that we can all be proud of and look forward to even greater achievements in the future. Representative McCray, thank you so much, and all you citizens, thank you so much. Let her see. Mr. Stacy Dodd. Good evening, Mr. Stacy. I'm still overcome by this. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
First of all, thank you, Mayor. You've been supportive of me and everything I've been involved with ever since I met you. And so have all of you. So I just wanted to start out by saying thank you. And I'm here tonight to talk a little bit about what is now actually Woodland Recovery. So it started out as Turning Point in 2014. It became Vertava in about 2021. And recently we were purchased by Bradford Health Services, which is a national chain that is very, very successful and very, very excellent in all they do. So now we have about 20 campuses across the country. They broke ground. They've got the plumbing and the foundation done over on Marathon Way, right behind Homewood Suites and Enterprise Rental Car. There is a new facility being built, a 100-bed facility with an all-new detox, so it's going to be separated medical. It's going to be wonderful. So we'll probably still have the facility on State Line, the new facility, and then the outpatient behind Sam. So we were treating about 300 patients a day. Right now, for the past 5 years, we've had 200 patients average daily census. What that means is every single day, 7 days a week. We have 220 people in our care. So they're logged into our medical records. We treat people everything from overdosing the night before to 30-year-old or 30-year alcoholics, fentanyl addiction, opiate addiction, everything you can think of, plus the mental health issues. We have about 140 staff members now. About 40 of those are RNs. So we have psychiatrists, RNs, medical directors, CEOs, and it's a wonderful organization. Bradford that came in has made some wonderful changes. I've been through 4 acquisitions, mergers and acquisitions. I didn't even know what that was, but I learned really quickly. But it's been wonderful. So the new acquisition has been wonderful. So I go out in the community. I have 875 accounts. I go all the way to Clarksdale, Greenville, Jackson, Water Valley, all the little towns, Sardis, Clark, all over the Mid-South, everything above Jackson. And I look for people that need treatment. So I work with Parkwood, I work with Baptist, I work with all the local psychiatrists, the drug courts, the judges. I go to court for them. I speak in the jail twice a week. But I love helping them, and we love helping them. And so we get them from sometimes almost dead until they're back working in the community. And so we do probably help more than anybody in the Southeast region. The new facility is going to just expand all of that. And you can call me at any time. I put my cards out on the table outside. And then this is also how we help employers. I go to all the EAPs. I was at Cooper Tire today and all over Byhalia. But we help employers keep them working. So sometimes if someone has an alcohol problem and they need to keep working, we can keep them working through our outpatient program. But I can also detox them and get them back to being healthy again. We have to get the chemicals out of their life. We have a church option. We have all those kind of things up there if they want to do it. But anyway, I want your support and just knowing that if you know anybody, send them to me. I work really closely with the police departments. I come and do in-services, and they call me sometimes when they have somebody. Baptist Hospital calls me when somebody's overdosed and they have tubes hanging out of their mouth. Sometimes I do their funerals. Sometimes I do their wedding, depending on how they're doing. And so I want you to support me and our company just by sending me anybody that needs help. If I can't get them into my program, I'll get them to a program, and I give you my word on that. So I have programs for people that are clean. I have programs for people that are using. I have programs for people that have Medicaid, programs for people that have regular insurance, programs for people that have nothing. I can get them into a program because that's what I do every single day. So just want your support and know that I am a certified interventionist. So I go to homes. I don't just call them on the phone. I actually go into their homes if they want me to. I help, the things that I help with that are on my card, and then this will be it. So I help with direct interventions, relapse, enabling, denial, homelessness, recidivism, which is in and out of jail, medical detox, residential treatment, partial hospitalization, intensive outpatient. We do same-day admissions. If I get them approved, we'll send an Uber to pick them up right on the street, wherever they're at. Long-term aftercare, sober living, Christ-centered recovery, long-term friendships, and permanent solutions. So I teach them how to fix it, not just get out of trouble. And so that's what I do. It's grown a lot since I talked to you all last. We have a lot of things going on with the Hope Center, too, that I'll be in front of you soon talking about that. But the reason I'm here tonight is just to talk about the Recovery Center and just give you an update on that.
Mr. Dodd, I really admire you. I remember 12 years ago, you just had a dream. And it was an uphill battle every step of the way. And all those years you have built up these organizations, but more than that, you've really helped a lot of people. And I want to thank you for that, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Does anybody on the board have any? Alderman Young.
Stacy, what y'all have done is an amazing amount of work. You're helping the people that need to be helped. And that's God's work.
It is.
And even though you call yourself a writer, we're not going to vote on that tonight.
A what?
A writer.
A writer? Yeah, I'm not the best writer in the world.
You're
It was a good book.
I'm just messing with you. But, Mr. Jim, if I understand correctly, and Mayor, this is what we've been allocated from the opioid settlement? Is this correct?
Yes, what I put before you is what we have received for the past 3 years, starting in 2023. We did elect to be a part of that through the state, and our Attorney General has been pursuing this for quite some time, and we have been receiving opioid funding that had a part of a lawsuit, a national lawsuit, And one of the requirements of this, I mean, we do have to allocate these funds, and they prefer we allocate those to something that benefits this same area. People that are addicted to opioids or drugs, something that would combat what this lawsuit was about.
Okay, so as I understand it, we have to allocate these funds for treatment or therapy or whatever. And as I'm looking at it, I see it's $76,683.98. Is that correct?
Well, the first 2 years was $76,527.85. And going back to your first statement, I mean, Mr. Billy could elaborate more. It is a broad requirement of what they want you to spend it on. They do open it up to a lot, but a lot of municipalities that I've talked to and looked at, they're trying to focus what they are sending this funding to is something that will benefit what this lawsuit was all about, those that have got addicted to opioids or drugs. But Billy could give a more legal
Got it.
answer.
All right. So what I'm understanding is you're saying the 76,000 is not all in-house yet, is what you're telling me.
Well, we, the first 2 years, and I'm not including 25s yet because we're still getting some in for 2025. But the first 2 years was $67,527.85 for 2023 and 2024.
Mayor?
Did you want to ask Mr. Billy anything?
I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that we designate $67,527.85 to Mr. Stacy Dodd and his center there, woodlandrecovery.com, please, sir.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Alderman Young. We have a second by Alderman Dupree. Is there any discussion? I think it's required this money has to be dispersed.
Yes, it does have to be spent according to the Attorney General. If you elect to be in this program and receive some of the lawsuit funds, it has to be spent.
Good program. We have a motion, as I said, by Alderman Young and a second by Alderman Dupree. Do we have any discussion? Alderman Bledsoe.
Mr. Dodd, do we have any people from this area in the program that you have?
Yes, sir. Probably, I would say probably 50% of our people or more are from right here in DeSoto County. We get them all the time. That funding could be put towards scholarships for them to come to treatment. They come to treatment all the time. We get people that come in treatment, they don't even have any clothes sometimes. They don't have food, they don't have work shoes. But this particular money can be put towards scholarships so they can actually come to treatment and get help. We usually keep them 1 to 4 months, and then we have an alumni program where we do Zoom calls every day. We stick with our patients for life. So once they admit to our program, we have 7-day-a-week Zoom calls now, something we never had before. And so, like, I do a Zoom call on Wednesday nights, a Celebrate Recovery Zoom call, but we stick with them forever. And so it's a wonderful program. It's a lot better. When the new building is built, I'll be inviting all of you all over to do tours, to do luncheons. We're going to have a place where we can do all that. But I really want y'all to see what we do. Most people don't know what we do. Even me telling you doesn't capture it. But when you come into the building, you meet the nurses, you see the patients, and you see what's going on over there, I think you'll be very, very proud of what you're doing. And I can even also give you my word that I can provide updates on what that's going for, like weekly updates from our office.
When I used to live in Ridge up there a long time ago, I saw people from Nevada, all over the country coming there, and I just want to make sure,
Yes.
you know, we have our people involved in it.
Yeah, more than half right now are from here, but as we get the new facility, that's going to be more and more consolidated locally, because we have enough patients to keep 300 beds full right here, right? But we have to work towards getting those. But yes, most of our patients are from right here. especially the southeast region, but like I go all over North Mississippi. Like I said, I get them from all over North Mississippi, but we have plenty right here. There's 220 today that are logged in getting care. I would say probably maybe 140, 150 of those are from local.
Anyone else? Alderman Klein.
God, this is a wonderful resource for the county and the city. I just want to find out that you're real familiar with this, this funding? That, you know, that
I
we-
had no idea how much it was. I just knew that, I knew a few years ago, we had talked about it years ago, about it being a possibility. I knew it was always a possibility, but I didn't push anything or didn't ask anything. I didn't know, I didn't know any detail. I had no idea how much it was. I mean, I thought it could have been $1,000 or $5,000. I didn't know. I didn't have any idea how much it was.
Well, I mean, all the areas that you cover, I was hoping that you're being able to tie in with the other cities and them that are part of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you been receiving any of those kind of funds? You know,
I have not, but I think that's a new target.
yes.
Hey, I go speak to all the aldermen, I go speak to all the police officers. I mean, that's part of my daily, I have a routing plan.
Yes.
And DeSoto County is my home. I mean, DeSoto, I'll just tell you, I started out doing the Hope Center in DeSoto County in 2014, and I was blown away when I came to a meeting and y'all prayed. Just so you know, and it started long ago with Verena Hopper and you know, Laura. Really, Verena Hopper is how everything started with me in the chamber. I didn't even know what a chamber was. And so now I'm on the board over in South Haven. But we have a lot of big plans for Horn Lake with crime and things like that with the Hope Center. That's a whole nother thing. I've got a catalog being printed for y'all. But we have big plans for the future. But it started with you all. And you all supported us over the years, just like some of the other chambers have and some of the other boards have. But we have big things coming. We're not stopping. And we're just, I always tell people, we're just getting started, you know.
Mayor. So do you do any workshops or anything of that nature? Because I can see our departments, especially the police department, our first responders, our code enforcement, they see these people that need that kind of help, that they can, you know, give them a card or
Yeah, so I
contact
encourage
you.
everybody to have my card and take a screenshot of it. And you can be out here and there could be a homeless person on the street and you can have them call me and I can work through a process with them. When I put them on my list, they never come off my list until
Awesome.
they come in.
I mean,
And
that's
I have a detailed list. I have a hot list, an MIA list, missing in action, and then I have a jail list. To where I get them, because I get a lot of people out of jail that their parents don't know what to do and their families are devastated.
Yes.
They're financially devastated, they're emotionally devastated, they're spiritually devastated, and they don't know what to do. But I happen to know what to do.
Yes.
Because I used to be there and I have all these resources. Most people don't know where these resources are. I know where these resources are.
Yes.
If they're broke, if they're, you know, pregnant female, veteran, I know where to get them all into treatment. So I don't want to be too long-winded, but I want you to know that you can call me with anybody. I don't care how bad it is, and we will engage that situation and we'll help them. That's where I enjoy doing it.
Thank you, Mr. Dodd.
Anyone else? Alderman Dupree.
Mr. Dodd, I met you a long time ago over on State Line Road, and that facility, what you've done with that is amazing. I love what you're doing, and where you are now, I believe, in my heart, that God put you there because of what you've done, what I've seen you do, seen your facility. When is the new one supposed to be open?
It's supposed to be built by March of next year, grand opening. But like I said, y'all will all be getting, all your departments will be getting invitations for luncheons. We want you to meet everybody. We want you to see what we do. It's really hard to explain it. I can't capture it with my words. It's not possible. But I am excited to bring you all over there, and it'll be one of the greatest days of my life to bring you all over there and take you around, you know. And I do facility tours now, by the way. If anybody wants to do a facility tour, I will take you on a facility tour of the inpatient, then the outpatient, and then I will take you to Memphis Barbecue.
So there's been two people in my tenure in law enforcement that I've given your number and I followed back up with them and they said, yes, I reached out and thank you for doing that. So thank you for what you do. I really appreciate you.
Last note, we did have the DeSoto County Sheriff's Department up there playing our patients in volleyball a couple of weeks ago. And we actually won 4 out of 5 games, so I don't want to say much.
Alderman Young.
Mr. Bledsoe brought up a really good point there a minute ago, and you really did. You said that we have 141 or so in DeSoto County in treatment currently. How many of that 141 are in Horn Lake? We know?
A lot.
That's in a lot being 100, a lot being 50, a lot
I would
being
say
12?
more. I would say we, out of all 4 cities in DeSoto County, I'd say we get more from Horn Lake.
Get more from Horn Lake? Now, if
I would have to do research in
No,
Salesforce.
no, I'm not, I didn't mean to put you, I'm just trying to get something. Mayor, Mr. Billy, could we, and Jim, could we tailor this as a scholarship of the $67,327.85, I ain't got my glasses on, to people in Horn Lake as a scholarship strictly for Horn Lake citizens? Could we do that, Mr. Dodd? Would that tie your hands too much?
I don't see there being any problem with that at all. I would just have to let them know. So what happens is if we get the funds, then I would ask my corporate financial officer to tailor a report that says where those go and report that, send that back to you, so we can report it here. Just so you know, just for your sake.
I would amend my motion to include that, please.
Well, that's a good idea. I had the feeling from the information I got over these couple of years, I took it more that they wanted treatment of someone for alcoholism or really for opioids. Now, I don't know if that's locked in for that. I don't know. Alderman Dupree.
Mr. Dodd, would you need any operating capital out of this money, or would it be strictly for the patients?
Well, considering you're giving it to us, like the city of Horn Lake, I mean, I could tag it as scholarships for citizens of Horn Lake that need treatment. I mean, I could tag it for, they can get scholarships, so scholarships pay for everything. If they come in, the cash pay rate is about half of what a regular pay rate is. Most insurance companies only reimburse you about a third of what
See,
you
that's
get.
where I was going with it, because I was on the same path that you are right now. So if we earmark this just for Horn Lake and the folks going in, you might need some operating capital to continue this great work that he's doing. So maybe we can allocate a portion of that money just to his company. Maybe $10,000 of that, then the rest go to the patients.
It's totally up to you all. We want to, first of all, just know that we're grateful. So if you were going to give me $1,000 tonight, I was going to be happy. I was going to be thrilled, whatever you do, because it shows that you're supporting. The thing about what you're doing tonight, it shows about you, the city officials, engaging in the problem personally. You know what I mean? Not just money-wise, but you're actually giving something to help us help the patients. Most people that get big funds like that, it never goes to a patient. It never goes to a person or a family. It goes to buildings or salaries or things like that. And so that's where this will be different. And I know that I can feel y'all's heart. You want it to go to a person. You want it to go to someone that's struggling with the opioid epidemic, which is also fentanyl. It's all related into the same pot. Fentanyl is just the modern day opioid. It's just the new age. But I would say 90% of our patients that come in, they test positive for fentanyl and meth because they're spraying it on everything.
Well, would that be okay with you guys?
Alderman Young made a motion. Did you want to?
Do y'all get more funds for your operating cost, right? More than.
Sir?
You have other funds for your operating cost, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the problem you have is getting scholarships and getting people in there because they need to be able to afford it.
Right. The problem that we have is sometimes we have patients that want to come that can't.
Right.
Right. The Affordable Care Act, Obamacare helps with some of that, but sometimes they still can't make it. And so what you would do is you would help. It would be very well used. And like I said, I can report on that. I can actually probably bring a patient up here once they get clean and let you meet them.
Yeah, we'll leave, as far as I'm concerned, we'll just leave the motion as is.
That's fine, I was just trying to figure out
So
something.
the motion stands.
Yes.
Does the second stand?
Yeah, for 67,527.85 to the scholarship program, strictly for people.
Does your motion, do you second still stand on it?
It is.
Is there any more
Mayor?
discussion?
Mayor?
Alderman Klein.
It's been brought to my attention that that amount is the incorrect amount and that it should be $74,564.99. That's 7,037s to be added with the 67.
Yes, sir. I was overlooking the first year and just reading out the second year. You add the first and second year together, and it is that
564.
564.99 cents.
So your motion is amended to be that figure?
Yes, sir, that's fine.
Your second? All right, with that,
Thank you,
Alderman.
Jim.
We have a motion, we have a second. Thank you, Alderman Klein. Thank you, Mr. Jim. Do we have any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Aye.
Happily, aye.
Alderman Johnson, aye. Motion carries 7 in favor, none opposed. Thank you for all you do, Mr.
Thank you.
Stacy.
Hey, Mr. Dodd.
And thank the board.
Don't you forget to call me now. Anytime you need it.
Hey, Mayor, I just want to say something. I was at that meeting when you came in and you had the Dream of the Hope Center.
Oh, you were?
I met you that night in 2014. And then about 3 months ago, I saw you at work at Bonzevo bringing in a busload of kids to feed them. So I've seen firsthand what's happening, and it's a great thing, and I appreciate everything you do. You have no idea.
Well, I can't be more excited to be coming back in front of y'all with what the Hope Center has accomplished and all of our awards and all the things that we've done, but we're coming back where we started at. I've always told you that, and I promise I'm gonna keep my word. And 2025 is the year, 2026, we're gonna do some stuff, and I hope all of y'all are involved in it, okay?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And thank you for all you do.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, sir. All right, number 5 is planning. It's our planning department, Mr. Andrew Hawkinsmith. Letter A is case number 2025-062, a conditional use permit request for Lounge Bar Tavern at 6541 Highway 51 North, which is a public hearing, which I now declare open. Good night, Mr. Lee, Ms. Hannah, Ms. Ruth, good night. Good, oh, there you got the whole crowd there. Good night, ladies. Sir. All right, sir. If you want to make a motion, that's up to you. No, that's up to you.
Mayor, I would like to table all the planning till the next board meeting. The new administration could take care of this. 'Cause if we do something now, they may not see it the same way, and they'll have to redo everything. So I would just say let them take care of it.
We have a motion by Alderman Dupree. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Young. Is there any discussion? All right. Before we do, the first meeting is going to be July the 1st. Some of these pertain to business that they might be open before or have something to do with it before July the 1st. Mr. Lee, there's a guy in the audience who's wanting to speak, but we can't do it.
No, sir, it's not a public hearing yet. At least on this
I
motion.
declared it open.
Well, at least on this motion.
I can't, it's not a public hearing yet on this motion. That's what I was asking our attorney. I wasn't familiar with the parliamentary procedure in that particular instance. We have a motion, we have a second. Do we have any discussion? Alderman Geis.
I don't have an issue with this motion, but I just want to make sure, as planning, are any of these related to fireworks? Is that business going to be impacted by anything if we don't address it today? Or is there time between that first meeting in July where it's not going to affect them?
So, with 5 of these being public hearings, and with the fact that we have to put these we have to send these legal ad requests to a local newspaper, and it has to be in the newspaper for at least 15 days. And because the DeSoto Times Tribune only publishes on Thursdays and only takes legal ad requests on Tuesdays before the Thursday, the earliest all of these public hearings can be heard is July 15th.
Mr. Mayor, that is not an issue. Everybody got notice of the public hearing for tonight, so if they're present, they'll hear that these cases are being tabled until the next meeting. So that is proper notice to continue any public hearing that's already been advertised.
Okay, thank you for that. To answer your question, one is a request for the retail sale of fireworks as a conditional use permit. And two of them are requests for electronic changeable message signs, which, from what I understand, were going to be there to advertise fireworks. So yes, there are multiple cases relating to fireworks.
Anyone else?
Mayor,
Alderman Young.
on case D and on case E, are those portable signs or are they permanent signs, sir?
Those are requests for portable mobile signs.
So we've already really addressed that up here, really, that those are allowed.
Well, they're technically not allowed. They're not allowed by the ordinance, but the board made a motion to allow them, even though that was not the request made by a previous applicant. A previous applicant requested a permanent sign, but then the board allowed a mobile sign, which is not allowed.
But we did approve portable signs, did we not?
Correct, the board approved one for,
Those are portable signs, we don't need to hear those. They've already been approved.
no, that is not true. You have to, you have two cases for conditional use permits for two individual locations that has nothing to do with the previous location. If you want to make portable signs allowed, you have to make a text amendment and then pass that as a new ordinance.
You're reading it different than I do, but okay. I mean, we already proved it. Portable signs are allowed.
They are not allowed.
The board approved them for one location. Technically, on the ordinance, it's still not allowed, but the board approved it.
Did we only approve it for that one location? We approved portable message signs.
Well, yeah, the two cases that are on tonight's agenda are for electronic changeable message signs.
Yeah, but
These just happen to be portable. but
Right,
they're
they're
requested-
portable.
It requires a conditional use permit.
Right, okay.
And I'm assuming that they're wanting to be able to get them out in time for sales of fireworks.
That is my understanding. The purpose of these would be to advertise fireworks.
And another question on C, is that someone that's had fireworks sales before wanting to renew their conditional use, or is that a new fireworks stand?
I believe that is a new location for the applicant.
Is there any more discussion? Mr. Andrew, letter F, the site plan extension. If that were postponed to the next meeting, would that possibly slow down construction at that location?
It would certainly push it back a month if it was postponed, or actually, no, this one can go to the next meeting, so if it's pushed back. So it'd just be pushed back a couple
I
weeks.
mean, it could slow down construction,
Yes, sir.
because I know when somebody builds a new business, normally they get the money and pay interest on it, so.
Yes, sir. I can't answer for every individual applicant's particular situations. I don't know how much it would hurt each applicant, so that's not really a question I can really help with.
Thank you, sir. Is there any more discussion?
Just one more, Mayor, I'm sorry.
Yes, Alderman Geis.
Is B related to fireworks?
Okay, so letter B, somewhat. The reason this applicant is looking for a conditional use permit request for parking lot use is because that applicant requested a permanent electronic changeable message sign, and the applicant was going to use that sign for any business on his lot, and this applicant happens to sell fireworks where that sign would be.
Yeah.
So essentially, that would also be related to fireworks. So you have 4 cases that are all somewhat related to fireworks.
Is there any more discussion? All right, Ms. Johnson, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. Did you have anything to say, ma'am, or questions?
No, Mayor, I just believe that we probably should go ahead and hear these cases just in case they do apply to the sale of fireworks and to preparation for the season.
All right. If you have nothing else, ma'am, I'll go ahead and ask for a roll call. Did you have anything else, ma'am?
No, sir, that's all.
Thank you, ma'am. Roll call, Miss Julie.
Alderman Young. Alderman Dupree. Alderman Johnson.
Nay.
Alderman Mossett.
Nay.
Alderman Geis.
Nay.
Alderman Woodson.
Nay.
Alderman Lyon.
Aye. Motion fails. 3 votes in favor, 4 votes opposed. All right, I've already called the first one as a conditional use and declared it open, so I don't have to do that again. Mr. Andrew, since we have kind of got a lot of things tonight, could you give us kind of a brief summary of each case, if you could, so we would be out of here before midnight?
Yes, sir. All right, so our first case, we got case 2025-062. This one is the request for a lounge bar tavern use at the location of 2496 Goodman Road West. Sorry, yeah, okay, here we go. This is in a C4 zone. Lots around it are C4 and M1. It's approximately 1 acre. The applicant is not requesting to change anything on site. Everything is already built out. The only request is just the use itself. We have the zoning imagery up there, and let's see. As far as the planning staff review, this is honestly harder to summarize. Used to just going through in detail. Okay, so all right, so I guess I'll just jump to the conclusion here. Upon reviewing the same criteria that the Planning Commission and the Board of Aldermen must review, as well as any other areas of concern brought to the Planning Department, the planning staff recommends approval, but for a time period shorter than is usually given. And so the Planning Commission gave their recommendation of 1 year, and that is what the Planning Department had recommended. The Planning Commission agreed that this is a fair requirement, given a lot of the history that has gone on site with reports of the assault and DUIs. Now, with that 1 year requirement, this, of course, allows the city 1 year for reassessing this approval. And then going ahead to the possible motion, I just left that as plain as possible there. We have the recommendation for approval for a period of 1 year, and I put in my conclusion that the city of Horn Lake already requires by ordinance that every business selling beer and light wine for on-site consumption has to close at midnight every night, with the exception of Sundays where they must close at 11 p.m. And on top of that, the Mississippi ABC will ensure that all of the state alcohol laws are enforced. We do have an ABC agent that comes through periodically. And I'll just leave it at that. And that concludes the presentation.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Andrew? Mr. Andrew, when I read through here, I noticed there were several instances of violence in the past that nobody reported to the police from this location. August the 23rd, 2 people were shot on the parking lot, but nobody from Cheers called the police. On December the 1st, 2024, 2 victims were beaten and left on the parking lot. And again, no one from Cheers contacted the police department. February 17th, a 19-year-old female was jumped by 2 other females on the parking lot. This occurred on a Saturday evening, was reported the following Monday. It seems like, of course, that's been, the other one in February was this year. It seems to be attracting a tough crowd. And I knew in your, and that's right across the street. Mr. Freeman, what is the name of your subdivision, please, sir?
Arbor Lakes.
Oh, yeah, that's right across the street from your home, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
And then I noticed the recommendations in here. I asked you about the age, because they want to change it from a restaurant to a bar. And of course, you have to be 21 to buy liquor. But I don't think the state law requires that you have to be 21 to come in. You just prohibit it from buying it. Because restaurants all over the area, we all go out to eat and have a toddy or something sometime. And somebody next to you will have a child with them. The hours are set by our previous ordinance. Did I read correctly that the owner said if they were granted this conditional use, they would have a security guard on the lot the entire time they're open?
If I remember correctly, they have had a security guard. I don't know if that's been every day or if that's just on like certain anticipated busy
If they're here, we can
nights.
ask them when they come forward.
Yes, sir, they are here tonight.
And I think, but I'm old and senile, so I think that they said in here they would not have a DJ, it would strictly have live bands.
Yes, sir, at the planning commission meeting, we did discuss the, what goes on inside. And so what the applicants had told us was that they are no longer doing DJs inside, but instead doing more, like instrument-based live band type
Live
music
band.
instead,
Live band.
in an effort to attract a different kind of customer base.
All right, sir. Does anyone else have any questions, Mr. Andrew, or do you want to call the owners up? Alderman Bledsoe.
I'd like to ask the police chief if she had any record of all this that went on, if that's feasible.
Chief, do you have a response?
Yes, sir. I had provided the numbers on the August 3rd incident, the December 1st incident, and then the February 17th incident. Also, which I guess when the applicant comes up, I can find out, or Andrew, if you know, if the intention is to continue to pay a cover charge to bring alcohol inside or just serve alcohol.
Yes, I do not know the answer for that, but the applicant is here, so we can absolutely ask.
Okay, and I had seen, it has since scrolled past, but somewhere in there I saw where there was an effort made to curb the consumption, so I think it was like maybe the paragraph above. I was just curious what that goal was, because we do get a large amount of DUIs countywide. That's not just in Horn Lake, but a large amount of DUIs that the driver that's arrested for DUI actually tells the officer, in turn goes into the officer's report. They say they're leaving Cheers, which I've done research with the surrounding restaurants that serve alcohol as well, and Texas Roadhouse for the same amount of time, from August 10th, 2023 to June 16th of 2025. Cheers had 19, Texas Roadhouse had 0, Hooters had 7, Memphis Barbecue had 1, and Applebee's had 3. So I was just curious if alcohol will continue to be brought on site as well as selling it, and what the plan was there.
I think that if you have an on-premise license, you cannot bring your own alcohol in. Sir? Yeah, you cannot bring your own alcohol in. And I think in their statement here, they were hoping that would decrease the number of people that had maybe one too many having that. But you have to enforce it. Everybody's sitting out here, most of y'all that do have a little toddy in your younger days, remember when you go into a bar, you'd have a little half pint stuck in your pocket, you know, to keep buying that next round, you spike it up a little. Yeah. Yeah. So anybody else have any questions? Alderman Geis.
I know I have another question for the chief. I know in the reports it says those incidents weren't reported, like the shooting and the beating and all that. I assume they went to the hospital, and then that's where your officers found out about it. Were the owners of this establishment cooperative with you once you went back over to the scene?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Did you say no, Chief?
No, sir, they were.
They were not cooperative? Okay. Anybody else have any questions? Alderman Dupree, I'm sorry.
Chief, how many calls would you have to have before it would be considered a nuisance?
I'll defer that to Mr. Billy.
Yeah, we don't have that standard in Mississippi. You hear a lot on TV because Tennessee does have a nuisance law like that. It's more than you think.
Okay. Well, seems like me is going down the wrong path right now.
Alderman Young.
Mr. Andrew, this location, Ms. Julie, if you'll go back to the Sky Shop, please. Right there. On the south side of that, there is a deck or a patio or something like that that has a fenced-in area. Was there a permit pulled for that?
Not from this applicant, because this, it was already in existence when they bought it, and,
Oh, no, sir, it was not. They built it.
well, on the outline that we looked at.
I'm talking about the fence around it.
Around the patio.
Yes, sir. Was there a permit pulled for that?
I'm not sure about the fence. We just looked at the square footage of the overall place
You
and
don't
just
know
the
if there
patio
was a
itself.
permit pulled for that fence?
That's not one of the things we looked at.
Okay, the second thing is, so you don't know if there is a fire exit in that fence or not, or if it is locked?
I mean, all I know is they have a use and occupancy permit for that place, which, you know, that means it passed fire inspection and building inspection, so.
Would that not fall under the premise of the planning department to know those two answers to those two questions?
I mean, if we have to go babysit every
Would that fall under the premise
single,
of the planning department to know those two questions? Yes or no?
I mean, theoretically, yes, we should know everything in the entire city.
That's not what I asked you, sir. I asked you a very simple question. Do you know whether or not there was a permit pulled to put that fence up to close that patio off? And if so, does it have a fire exit, and is it locked or is it open?
I cannot answer that
We're
question.
talking about lives here is what I'm talking about, not liquor. You should know this answer. Thank you.
I can go and visit every single site and walk through every single door in every building if I have to.
let's,
That's just not how we usually do our process.
I understand completely that you're worried about exit. We've all seen reports where people have a fire and they can't get out and they just stack like cordwood in the door. There was an old nightclub in the 40s called the Tomcat up on Highway 51. The same thing happened right up here in South Haven. Of course, it was just a rural area then. Anyone else have any questions? Would y'all like for me to ask the owners to come forward? Mr. Billy, do you have something? Will the owners please come forward and identify yourselves? Miss Julie, do you need their names and addresses? All right, thank you. Good evening.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
You've heard some of the discussion. Do you have any comments about any of it?
Yes, we can address all of it. When we first opened up, as the patio was already there, the fire department came in, they did an inspection, they explained to us what we had to do. When we have a audience or we have a crowd in there, we open up the gate. But other than that, the gate is locked. When the police came for the first incident of happening there, we cooperated. Y'all came 4 times. We gave y'all video footage, we gave you all the information you asked for. So that's not true that we did not cooperate. And then the second time, we didn't know that anything was happening on the parking lot. We were inside, and we were new to the whole thing. So any incident that happened was happening outside. So that's why we started getting security. When I explained to the Planning Commission earlier, we were going to get security to monitor the whole situation. Now, as far as the people having drinks and leaving and saying they're coming from Cheers, they would come to Cheers, stand in the parking lot, and some of your officers was there at the same time. People were standing in the parking lot. I asked the officers, can they get rid of the people? They said no, because they can't do nothing about it until I call the police. I said, well, you here. I'm telling the police, can you tell them to move? They said no. So we stopped having people to come on our parking lot with security to stop that or whatever's going on out there when they're drinking out there, because when they come out there and they hang out in the parking lot and drink. So we had to stop the drinking. The reason why we're applying for the liquor license is because when we do charge them to come in and bring a bottle, they don't bring a little bitty bottle. Bring big bottles. They bring a fifth. They bring a half a gallon. And they drink straight from the bottle. So when they leave out, there's nothing we could do about it.
You understand if you get a liquor license, you can't allow that in there.
Correct. And that's why we're trying to get the liquor license. If we get the liquor license, we can cut them off, and we can even tell them they can't even drink no more. But if we just allow them to bring a bottle in and we charge for the bottle, and they sit there and drink the whole bottle, they don't go to the store and buy a 2-shot bottle. They go to the store and buy a half a gallon.
I'm old enough, I remember when they didn't have liquor by the drink in Memphis.
Right.
So everybody brown bagged.
Right.
And they did take large bottles.
Yes. So, and as far as the patio is concerned, when we had to, now we had to do the walls back over again because they were falling apart. And people were coming, sneaking bottles in, just doing extra things. So all we did is just put the panels that was bad back up. We didn't do no expansion or nothing. We just repaired it.
Ma'am, did you have anything?
No, sir, my husband has spoken out.
All right, good. Anybody have any questions? Alderman Young?
I was there when y'all was grand opening. Y'all remember that?
Yes, sir.
It's a nice place. I don't have a problem with the place. But what you just told me is exactly false, because when I came there, you and I walked out and looked at that patio, and there was not a board standing up higher than even higher than that patio, and there was a handrail there.
A board?
There was no board, sir, only the handrail. You and I
The
looked
handrail
at
is
it.
still there?
I know that, I understand that, but you put that fence up. So I'm gonna ask you honestly, did you apply for a permit? Because he don't know.
No, we didn't apply for it because we just fixed the boards that was back.
Have you got that patio with those boards up cleared by the fire department?
No, I didn't know we had.
So
to
if
call
somebody's in that building and it catches fire and they happen to lose their life, you're gonna lose a lot of sleep.
There's a door there.
If it's not approved by them, and you have to have that unlocked, sir, at all times when the
Right.
doors are open.
And I just said that. We have it unlocked when we.
Do you have exit signs there to show people where to get
Yes,
out of there?
Yes.
I would suggest you get with the fire chief or the people in the planning department, because he don't know, and make sure that you've got everything done the straight way you need to do it. Because if somebody dies in that building,
Right.
it's gonna be Katie bar the door, I promise you. Regardless of who sits up here. Because there's no sense in it. You've got to play by the rules. I don't have a problem with your establishment. And I understand what you're doing with the liquor license. I understand that too, because y'all have given away mimosas and you've given away free drinks and all. I understand.
Right, yeah.
You know, that brought that crowd.
Right. Right.
Y'all lit that firecracker.
Well,
So-
as we try to do everything and we do
I
trial and
understand.
error.
I don't have a problem with your establishment, but you better get a grip on it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, appreciate
That's
you.
why we're applying
Yes,
for
sir,
the
I
liquor
know.
license.
Yes, sir,
To
I
have a
agree.
grip.
Yes, sir, thank you.
Yeah.
Does anyone else have any questions? Alderman Guys?
You mentioned that you started having security in the parking lot.
Correct.
Is that your plan, when you're open, to have security in the parking lot?
Correct.
Okay. And,
We're gonna have security at all times if we think about a crowd that's coming in. The reason why we're applying for the liquor license is because we want to stop everything. The liquor license gives us an opportunity to stop the people from hanging in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Because if we say, well, it costs you $10 to come in with your bottle, but then they'll stand outside and drink. And then when the police stop them, they say, well, where you coming from? Cheers. So we can't monitor what they do in the parking lot and then leave out the parking lot. And as far as the issues that, when the first incident happened, everything happened out in the parking lot. So we didn't have security when those first incidents was happening in the parking lot. So we didn't know nothing about it. We learned about it just as the police learned about it. Then they come back and tell us something happened. So that's how we was learning about the incidents. Y'all would come and tell us.
So it sounds like you have a plan to try to attract a older, more mature crowd?
Correct.
Is what you're trying to do? What is that plan? I know he had some of that listed there. What are you trying to do to change the clientele of your establishment?
Don't have the liquor by the drink. When you come in, you have to buy something to eat, and if you want to get some wine or something like that, it's easier to do it that way. We can also cut you off. If you have 2 or 3 drinks, I don't know what the limit is, but if you have 2 or 3 drinks, we have a training bartender that has the ABC license, and then they can tell you, you cannot have a drink anymore. And you can't do nothing to us about if we stop you from drinking. That's the law. But if you got liquor by the drink, I can't stop you from doing anything with your liquor by the drink.
So do you have events at your place or anything, or is it just a restaurant, bar and grill type thing?
It's a restaurant, bar, and grill.
So you're going to talk about having a live band as opposed to a DJ?
Right. That's correct.
Does anyone else? Alderman Bledsoe?
You know, when they come in and they buy you a drink, if it's, back when my day it was about $1, now it's about $5, don't you think sooner or later they're gonna sneak out to the car and get their bottle and hip themselves to a little bit more than, whatever? But if you have security out there, that might stop the problem. I was bouncing in a bar years ago before I got saved, but I know how these folks act, and it's not good. So I just, try to cover yourself.
Right. So that's why we're having the security outside. When we get to the point to where we're selling the drinks and doing the food, we don't even want security because we're not going to have that type of element coming around. So the reason why we initially had the element coming around is because we had DJs, and we were trying to survive, to be honest.
But you always have one bad guy.
Exactly.
So somebody, your bouncer
Exactly.
needs to take care of him.
Right.
Your escort.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
I'm sure that you are aware, well, I don't know if it's changed, but I've been out of it so long, but it used to be that if you sold liquor by the drink, a certain percentage of your sales had to be food.
Correct.
They-
Aware of that.
And they used to check that pretty heavy,
Correct.
that you had to have is it still that way?
Yes, it is still that way.
Anyone else have any comments? Alderman Bostic?
I really believe that y'all are trying to do this the right way, and we can't know what's going to happen when somebody leaves any establishment, be it any restaurant in town, what's going to happen. By putting the security guards out there, I think that's a step toward the right direction and getting your liquor license to where they can't bring their own bottle. But the biggest thing is, if we approve this for a one-year conditional use, I personally, since I've gotten reelected for another term, would like to ask the police department to monitor that, and y'all be cooperative as best as you can if something happens there, to where the new board knows what's going on there in case we need to cancel or revoke that or whatever we need to do. We don't need to hear about it. I mean, gunshots are gunshots, and when they show up and say, did anybody hear anything? Everybody says, no, we don't hear it. I hear it every night. So somebody heard something, and I understand that. A lot of people don't like to talk. I understand that 100%, but we just need full cooperation, and I think y'all are moving in the right direction, and I just want to let you, it's in my ward, so I got to protect the people that elected me in. So thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else? Y'all have any questions for the board before we ask anybody in the public want to speak?
No, sir.
Thank y'all very much.
Yes, sir.
Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak pro or con on this request for a conditional use? Is there anyone? Mr. Freeman, did you or not? No, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir. All right. There's no one to speak. Declare the public hearing now closed. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Bostic.
make a motion to approve case number 2025-62 for a conditional use for 1 year for a lounge, bar, and tavern at 6541 Highway 51 North.
Would you consider, Alderman, adding onto that a security guard will be on the lot?
Well, they've already said that's what's going to happen. So,
But, I mean, they said that.
well,
And then that they were going to have a live band and no DJ? Because if you said that in the motion and they didn't follow up on it, then that conditional use would be revoked.
who's going to monitor that every day that they're open and make sure they have a
It's
security
your
guard?
motion. You do with it like you like, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, we have music playing inside, so we can't have a band every day. So we do have music playing inside.
I appreciate you saying so, but the conditional, the hearing is closed. It's just a discussion now on the board. But thank you, sir. So your motion stands, all right, Alderman? All right, we have a motion by Alderman Bostic. Do we have a second? Second by Alderman Geis. Is there any discussion?
Mayor,
Alderman Young.
I'm just wondering, I agree with what Mr. Bostic is saying 100%. Is there any way, Mr. Bostic, that we could require that their security guard be certified in the state of Mississippi? That he's not certified in North Carolina or something, he has to follow Mississippi laws?
That'd be a Billy question. I don't know what state they have to be certified in, and we've been down that road with
Well, I know,
certifications.
I understand, but I'm just asking.
I can't tell you there any certifications for security guards. I know we didn't require it for medical cannabis dispensaries when we had that requirement.
Right. That's pretty much what I'm falling back on.
Yeah, but we can require them to be, I think we said something like they were licensed to carry in accordance with Mississippi law or something like that.
Right, something like, and I'm not saying the gentleman would, I'm not assuming this at all, I want you to understand that. Somebody just get a T-shirt and say security, and hey, I'm a security guard. No. They gotta have the little piece of paper, and they know who he is and what's going on. I think it just makes it a little bit more clear. protects you better too. Is that okay?
Any more discussion? Roll call, please, Miss Julie.
Alderman Young. Aye. Alderman Dupree. Aye. Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Mustang.
Aye.
Alderman Knight.
Aye.
Alderman Bledsoe.
Nay.
Alderman Klein.
Nay. Motion fails 4-3. I heard 4-3. I heard a nay, a nay, a nay from Alderman Bledsoe, and a nay from Alderman Klein. Nay.
Yay, yay.
He said yay.
I said yay.
You said
Yes.
yay?
Yes, I agree with him. Yes, open it up.
Okay. Well, the motion passes. 4 in favor, 3 opposed.
Who's the third nay?
All right, Alderman Johnson. Alderman Johnson.
She was a yes.
I can't understand. I know Alderman Bledsoe was a nay.
Mayor, I said
Alderman Klein was a nay. And I thought Alderman Johnson said nay.
That's good.
Alderman Johnson, were you a yay or a nay?
I said aye, yay, yay.
Okay, 5-2. Motion passes 5 in favor, 2 opposed. Thank you. All right, moving on. Case number 2025-067, conditional use permit request for a parking lot. All right, you made it. Did Mr. Princess, Mr. Mitchell here? All right, you made it, okay. All right, it's a public hearing. I now declare it open. Mr. Andrew, would you fill us in, please?
Yes, sir. This case is a request for the use of a parking lot at 2496 Goodman Road West. The use of parking, automobile parking lot or garage, no 18-wheeler parking requires a conditional use permit in any C3 zone. The applicant previously requested from the Board of Aldermen to approve a permanent electronic changeable message sign to advertise all businesses on his lot, and these businesses would include fireworks sales, a haunted house, and parking, among other businesses that may appear on the lot. Some of those businesses would be temporary in nature, while the parking business would be year-round on the lot, other than the times the temporary businesses are on the lot. So I've kind of alluded to this earlier. The reason that this proposal came around is that it stemmed from a previous decision by the Board of Aldermen to not approve the request for a permanent electronic changeable sign on the lot, on the basis that the alderman preferred it to exist with either a building or a year-round business on the lot. And so since his firework business is in temporary tents, he's not going to have a permanent building on the lot, so the sign cannot relate to, the sign can't be there because he won't have a building. So the solution to that was to have a year-round business on the site that does not take up any space, such as a building. So if you scroll down a little bit, there's the lot the applicant owns at 2496, highlighted in that blue line there. And then if you scroll down more, this is showing the zoning. It's C3 zoning. The adjacent lot is C3, and the next door properties to those applicants' properties are C4. So if you scroll down to the image there, this is the site plan with the parking spaces as given to the planning department by the applicant. And the star is the proposed location of that monument sign. And that blank space above the star is going to be where the fireworks tent will be. And then in the ovals there, you have the 5 ovals as the original intended, the proposed parking spaces. If you scroll down to the next image, the planning department was just thinking about the overall flow of parking on site, and just to avoid any tight spaces and collisions and backing into trailers and tents. The planning department is actually proposing this instead. as the 3 spaces there would attach to asphalt, so you would have continuous asphalt and also the opportunity for an ADA space on that most southern space of the 3. So when reviewing this with the Planning Commission, there were no issues found with these criteria. And similarly, when reviewing the criteria for the Board of Aldermen, there also were no issues found with those. And then on one of those pages is the responses to all the questions that the Planning Commission and the board have to answer. We give this to every single applicant. We require that every applicant turns in a letter answering these questions.
I think that's a great idea. I really appreciate y'all doing that.
Yes, sir, thank you. And then, so that concludes the staff review. We have the Planning Commission minutes there. And then, and for the conclusion, we have approval for this request in the form of the recommended revision by the planning staff as the best solution for the applicant and for the board and for the city overall. So that concludes the presentation.
All right, anybody have any questions for Mr. Andrew? Would y'all like for the owner of the lot to come forward before the board?
I have a question.
Yes, sir, Alderman Guys.
Looking back at the plan, it shows 3 parking spaces. Is that all the parking spaces proposed, or is that just an example?
I mean, that's one of the many scenarios that could be required, but this is our, what we are proposing, just so that there would be space for the fireworks tent. We don't want to force the applicant to have a bunch of cars around the fireworks tent or around trailers or around other equipment. Technically, there were no minimum number of parking spaces for just parking itself. If you have a retail store, if you have a restaurant, if you have a bank, if you have a specific type of business, there are minimum number of parking spaces required, but for just parking itself, there are none.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Alderman Young.
So we're looking at approving another conditional use for a parking lot that's going to have 3 spaces on it. Now, hold on. It's a conditional use already for a fireworks stand, right? He can do that twice a year. We've already known that. He can't do a haunted house because you can't put up a temporary structure 3 times, right? Right. I know that one. So we're approving a conditional use on the same piece of land with the same owner for 3 parking lots. So basically what we're doing is we're offering him, I understand the sign is the end game, I understand that. That don't pass the smell test with me. That's all I got.
Anyone else? Alderman Bledsoe.
Hey, and do they have handicap parking anywhere or not, or do they don't have to have handicap parking?
So we were going to have the applicant use that that southernmost spot as the ADA space, and you know they are separate lots. We did have a conversation with the applicant a long time ago to replat this and combine the lots, but the applicant did not want to combine the 2 lots into one. So I understand this is an awkward request, and having that, when I tried to do my research on ADA requirements for just parking by itself, just in my research I did alone, I couldn't turn up any of those for just parking itself, but there are minimum requirements for any general use. For every 25 spaces, you have to have at least 1 ADA spot. And so we just want to do our part and force the applicant to just do the one, just, you know, just to make sure that we're doing our best to meet that number requirement.
Okay, you have, then he only owns that one lot.
He owns both lots.
Okay, but he don't own the next lot, so he can't really control it?
So what I'm talking about is the 2496 and then the one directly to the west. He owns that parking lot. The one between his gravel lot and the Mexican restaurant.
I'm handicapped, so I'm concerned.
Yes, sir.
Alderman Klein.
So Andrew, these 3 parking lots are paid parking lots. These are cars that got to pay to park there because this is his full-time business that allows him to get that digital sign. Without those 3 paid parking lots for people to pay, he wouldn't have a full-time business. And that's how he's getting a full-time business. Is that not correct?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Digital sign, we agreed to approve because he was going to be having paid parking in them lots, in that lot, year-round. So it's a year-round business, so now, therefore, he can do a digital sign.
You're saying paid, P-A-I-D?
Paid, yes.
I'm not sure how the applicant is going to make money in this business. The applicant is here tonight, so I'm not going to answer the business model of the applicant. I do not know that part. I just know the site plan level proposal here.
Well, I don't think, you know, profit or whatever, you know, how you're going to, the whole idea was he's using it as a full-time business by having those paid areas for people to park.
Yes, sir, I totally understand.
Okay.
Anyone else? Mr. Andrew, even though it's a small area, wouldn't these parking spaces be required to be paved?
So under our ordinance, everything has to be a hard surface, so that could be asphalt, that could be concrete, and that can also be bricks or stone pavers.
All right. Anybody else? Anyone like to have Mr. Mitchell, if he'll come forward, if you have any questions for him? Anybody? Mr. Mitchell, they didn't have any questions for you. But if you have, just don't, okay, just wait a minute, please. Like, would you let me finish a sentence?
Of course, man. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Mitchell, I was going to ask if you wanted to come forward before you interrupted me,
I
sir.
apologize, man. I would
All
love
right,
to come
yes, sir. The floor is yours, Mr. Mitchell.
I was anxious to see you,
Sir?
man. How y'all doing today? Mr. Klein alluded to previously coming up here, and you guys did approve my request for the sign. And you said that upon that approval, I had to come back and get an approval for the parking lot. That's what I did. I'm back here doing what you guys told me to do. This is all this is. This can go from 3 spaces to 5 spaces. It's not about the number of spaces. It's what's needed at the time. Another component to that is when there's a tent there on that lot, parking would cease. So there will be no interference with cars backing up to a tent to have some kind of accident. Okay, so that won't happen. But again, this is here basically because the sign was approved contingent upon me coming back and getting the parking lot request done, which is why I'm here now. And again, man, I thought you was asking me to come up here. I wasn't barging
That's
up
all
here.
right. Yes, sir. Yes,
Not at
sir.
all.
Does anyone have any, Alderman Geis?
Well, I remember us coming to this agreement. Just my question was, it looks funny to me, you got this whole big parking lot, and there's 3 spaces up there. It's not my business, but I got a question for you. When your tent is not there and you have more people, say you got more than those 3 people, aren't you able to use the whole lot for parking if you wanted?
If I wanted to, The bigger issue with this is El Molino, which, of course, is next to me. They have overflow a lot, and he needs extra space. And he's my neighbor, so I'm trying to alleviate that, which brings it helps me out, brings another business for me. So, but yes.
You know, that's just my thought, you know, you gotta admit that looks, there's three lots. But, you know, to me, you know, you got that overflow, they could go over in there,
Yes.
park all down through there, as long
Yes.
as it's organized.
They have to, because you got to come around and turn around.
Yes, sir, so, you know, I think the design there of what's presented brought up the questions.
Yeah, no, that's.
So, that was it, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else have any questions or comments for Mr. Mitchell? Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor.
Appreciate your explanation, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Does anyone in the audience care to have any comments, either in favor of this or opposed to it? Anyone? All right then, this public hearing is now closed. Do we have a motion, please?
Mayor,
Alderman Bostic.
make a motion to approve case number 2025-067 for a conditional use permit request for a parking lot use on parcel 2496 Goodman Road. 5 years.
We have a motion
For 5 years.
For 5 years? We have a motion by Alderman Bostic. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Geis. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Klein.
Reluctantly, aye.
Alderman Woodson. Alderman Guys.
Aye.
Alderman Hopkins.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Dupree. Alderman Jones.
Motion carries 6 in favor, 1 opposed. All right. Could we really combine C and D, or they have to stand separate? Okay. All right. Letter C. Thank you, sir. Case number 2025-068, a conditional use permit for the retail sale of fireworks at 769 Southwest Drive, Ward 3. Public hearing, I now declare open. Mr. Andrew, you again, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you. If you scroll down to the image, there's the zoomed out aerial view, and if you scroll down one more, this is the more zoomed in aerial view. This is at the intersection of Interstate Boulevard and Southwest Drive at 769 there. If you scroll down to the next image, we have the zoning. So this property, it does have kind of weird zoning here, but it's not going to be an issue. The majority of this is C4, and then you have a small part of this at the corner being Planned Business Park PBP zoning. However, the fireworks tents can be in either zoning, so the zoning is not an issue here. If you scroll down some more, we have the submitted site plan. So the above site plan shows the fireworks tent and associated equipment along the western side of the property, with parking along the east side and access to the property on the north side of the lot on Southwest Access Drive. Utilities will be located on the southeast corner of the lot next to the porta potty, and the garbage location on the south side of the lot. The site plan calls for a gravel lot consistent with the existing conditions of the property. And so going through the planning staff review, we didn't see any issues with this one as is usual with all the other fireworks tents. And with that, I'll conclude the presentation.
All right, anybody have any questions for Mr. Andrew? Anybody have any questions for Mr. Andrew? Mr. Mitchell, this is your property. Would you like to address the board, sir?
Good
Yes,
evening
sir.
again. I would humbly request you guys' approval. I'm growing. I appreciate you guys for supporting me, believing in me. We have some bumps and bruises, but I think that was a long time ago. You know, we've grown. We've changed some ordinances for the good. You know, we made some clarities. I think Mr. Campbell one time brought up the fact about the bags. And when I did the bags, I thought I was doing it a good thing, but I think you guys didn't clarify how you wanted it done. But when you clarified it, I went back and did it. So my point is, when you guys bring something to me, I happily go back and adjust accordingly. I have no problem. So I think this is a good location, good site. Everything is already done. And again, I appreciate you guys' approval.
All right, Mr. Mitchell, let me see. Anyone have any questions or comments for Mr. Mitchell? Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Mayor.
Anyone,
Mayor,
sir?
Just to you personally, thank you for your service.
Well,
for
thank
being
you.
here. We come a long way, and I'm sure you're still going to be a very present force for future.
I'm old. I'll be watching baseball
No,
games.
you're going to still be involved, Mayor.
No. Thank you, sir.
Hey, Prentice, they'll have to bring them back just to deal with you.
Does anyone in the audience have any questions or comments, either in favor of this application or opposed to it? There being none, this conditional use hearing is now, public hearing is now closed. All right. Mr. Campbell said if the board so wishes, following up on Alderman Dupre's request, combine D and E if the board so wishes.
Mr. Mayor, we need a motion and vote on C before we.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, we have a motion on C. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Geis.
I make a motion to approve case number 2025-068, conditional use permit request for retail sales of fireworks at 769 Southwest Drive, Ward 3, with the recommendations of the Planning Commission.
For
a term of 5 years.
We have a motion by Alderman Geis. Do we have a second? Do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Alderman Johnson. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Young. Aye. Alderman Dupree. Aye. Alderman Johnson. Aye. Alderman Vasquez.
Nay.
Alderman Guy.
Aye.
Alderman Bledsoe.
Aye.
Alderman Klein.
Aye.
Motion carries 4 in favor, 3 opposed. Thank you. Now, getting back to D and E, Mr. Campbell says it is legally permissible to combine those if the board so wishes, or we can keep them separate. What is the feeling of the board? All right. Letter D, letter E, case number 2025-069 and 2025-070 will be heard simultaneously at a public hearing, which I now declare open. Mr. Andrew, you again, sir.
Yes, sir, thank you. This case is these two cases are requests for the use of portable electronic changeable message signs at 6895 Interstate Boulevard, and the others being at the combined singular location of 2020 and 2036 Goodman Road West. This appears to be the first time any applicant has requested a portable or mobile version of an electronic changeable message sign. The Code of Ordinances of Horn Lake only allow for the city's approval of conditional use permits for electronic changeable message signs when they conform to specific regulations regarding that type of sign. One of those being a permanent monument sign. However, the city seems to have established a new precedent, whereas its Board of Aldermen approved another applicant's proposal for a permanent sign that only deviated from the 20% electronic face requirement by being a 50% face sign, on the condition that the sign actually be portable rather than a permanent monument sign. And so we have a fireworks competitor who saw the resulting motion from their competitor's case. And so after seeing that the board allowed their competitor to have a portable electronic changeable message sign, this applicant came in and requested the same thing. It was very awkward for us because technically, just reading the black and white words on the screen, we technically could not allow it, but seeing as the board recently allowed someone else to do it, we just said, let's just take it to the board and let the board decide. So that's why you have these two requests tonight. So if you go through, keep going. These are the ECMS regulations. If anybody wants to go back to that page, we do have all the regulations copy and pasted there. And then basically, it's a portable sign. We did not come up with any negative impacts on traffic hazards or congestion, with the understanding that they're going to follow all of the digital sign requirements. So code enforcement will, have the ability to make sure they follow those digital requirements that are already required. But as far as everything else, we saw nothing with traffic hazards or congestion, fire hazards, adversely affecting the character of the neighborhood, adversely affecting the general welfare of the city, overtaxing public utilities or community facilities, being in conflict with any plan that we have. And then similarly, looking at the board side, nothing interfering with the parking loading areas, trash areas, utilities, screening and buffering, required yards, and other open space. So this goes for both locations. We didn't see any adverse effects. And so that concludes that presentation.
Oh, thank you, sir. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Hawkinsmith? Is the applicant or applicants present? Yes, ma'am, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Shelley Wilkerson with
Ma'am?
American Fireworks.
Shelley,
Yes.
Miss Julie, you have, all right, yes, ma'am. Did you have anything to say, Miss Shelley?
I did want to let y'all know this is going to be something that's portable, so it's not going to stay on site, and we'll only use it while we're there selling of the fireworks. And we're going to go by all the rules and regulations as far as the electronic message. So it's just be flipping, it won't be flashing.
All right. Anybody have any questions or comments for Miss Shelley? Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Anyone in the audience have any comments, either in favor of the applications or opposed to them? Anyone? If not, this public hearing is now closed. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Who said that? Oh, Alderman Geis, I'm sorry.
I make a motion to approve both of those cases for a conditional use permit for electronic changeable message signs at those three locations.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Geis. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Dupree. Is there any discussion?
For a term of 5 years, Mayor.
For a term of 5 years. Is this still staying? Your second still staying?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. We have a motion by Alderman Geis, a second by Alderman Dupree. Is there any more discussion? Alderman Klein.
Well, I just wanted to state that the reason I will be voting for it is because we approved another fireworks to do it, and it would only be fair and right to do so.
Yes, sir. Anyone else? Roll call, please, Miss Julie.
Alderman Klein.
Aye.
Alderman Bledsoe.
Aye.
Alderman Guy.
Aye.
Alderman Moxley.
Nay.
Alderman Johnson. Aye. Alderman Dupree.
Aye.
Alderman Young.
Was that a nay, sir? Nay. Motion carries 5 in favor, 2 opposed. All right. Letter F, case number 2025-089, site plan extension request. All right, this is also a public hearing. This was not? Okay. All right, Mr. Andrew, it is yours.
Thank you. Yes, sir, thank you. This is a request to, we don't get these very often. This here is a case to request to allow an approved site plan that expired due to no activity to become valid again. So when this happens, this will come straight to the board, and the board has to approve or reject this. So case number 2023-17 SPDR Site Plan Design Review was approved by the Planning Commission on September 9th, 2023. After approval, no permits were requested, and so no permits were issued for over a year. In June 2025, the Planning Department was approached by a developer, different than the original applicant who proposed the site plan, who asked for the next steps in the building process. As they recently purchased that property and the plans, the Planning Department informed the new owner of the city ordinances, which states that site plans are only valid for 1 year, but they can be revived by the governing authority within the year after expiration. So as we are still within this time window to revive the plan, the Planning Department is sending this applicant's letter of request to the Board of Aldermen. And so I've attached that, here's a screenshot of that requested letter. I'm assuming everybody here had time to read this letter. It's basically requesting to reapprove the site plan that was already approved. When we talked to them about any potential changes on site, any changes to that site would trigger a whole new process. So to avoid going through all the hurdles of a conditional use permit on a brand new site plan with different dimensions, different building size, different everything, they've decided to choose the route of coming to you to reapprove the same exact site plan.
Exactly where is this? Highway 51 in Nail. I'm trying to visualize exactly where.
Yes, sir. So if you are driving south on Highway 51, going towards Nail, this will be on the right side next to the GXO warehouse. It's the skinny strip of land where when you turn into that backside of GXO, it'll be right next to that entrance.
Where? What's that?
It's right across from where you got your vehicle fixed, right across the
Close. Right.
Yes, sir, in front of Crosh Automotive.
Close, all right. It'd be right across from there.
right across on that little 3-acre strip right there.
All right, sir, thank you. I was trying to picture it because I knew there was convenience stores on two corners, and then that shopping center area, and then the automobile parts place. I was trying to figure out where it was going to be. Thank you, sir.
Where they rent the van all the time.
That little narrow. Thank y'all, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Andrew. Appreciate your patience. You have anything else, sir?
No, sir, that concludes the presentation.
Anyone have any questions for Mr. Andrew? I notice in here, there's no sidewalks, right?
Yes, sir. I'm not sure, as I said, this was approved in 2023. I'm not really sure what those discussions were at the previous meetings. I know that, I'm sure you're aware, I require that every new commercial business install sidewalks on every new property that is against a major street. So if this was proposed during my time here as director, I would have put in the requirement of sidewalks.
Anyone have any questions or comments for Mr. Andrew or the owners here?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone want to speak to the owners or have any questions for the owners? Would y'all like to address the board? Sure, come on down, sir. Will you be kind enough to give your name and address to Miss Julie, please, sir?
Sure.
Well, both you gentlemen, please.
Sure. My name is Adnan Hirani, and his name is Manju Shah, and we are representing DA Pinnacle Properties. And thank you so much, everyone, for having us here. We would like to take this opportunity to provide you a background of this station. We bought this plan originally in 2024 November, and this plan was approved on September 6, 2023, and it was being done by Singh Developers. We saw a potential, as we are from the same industry, we own gas stations, so we saw that Highway 51 is a big corridor. It's a corridor where we can implement aesthetic, architect, safety, clean bathrooms for the community, and provide an environment that is not creating anything that is going against the vision of City of Horn Lake, and to promote the community. We can see there are 2 gas stations, but they are being old. They are not very much well equipped with modern technology that supports the gas station industry in terms of safety of fuel, in terms of easy in and out. So at that time, when we bought this land, with our good faith, we tried all our best to get everything in order to make this plan in a place where we can start the construction. So we started working from November 2024 diligently to get the fuel vendor. We got the Amoco brand over here. We sign a contract with them. Then we have a due diligence process with all the contractors. You know, everything we have to sort out together in order to make the plan financially stable. So luckily, we have been partnered with Murphy & Son, who is a very reputable contractor in City of Horn Lake. We have a representative here as well. His name is Wes. He's a partner. He's supporting us on our mission and on our vision of creating this station. So on February 2025, we got to know that there is a procedural change for the gas station's right to build. So at that moment, until now, we have a contractor ready to develop the station. We have the fuel provider through which we have already contract with them. And just talking about the area, which is a bay over there, there's a rental space as well. So I own few of the Baskin-Robbins. So my plan originally is to bring the Baskin-Robbins, because the older developer, he wanted to bring liquor over there. And I do not have any experience on liquor, and I don't feel that gas station and liquor go well together, because it promotes a lot of activities that does not let us run a station systematically. Because we are the owners, but we like to have the business run more systematically rather than I'm standing on the register and taking care of everything, right? So that will going to promote our 10 to 15 years of vision forward, like what we want to do over here to build. Secondly, talking something good about the geographical importance and significance of this area. This station is located right in front of GXO, which is going to bring a lot of traffic, and we would be able to serve them with a quality service, which is being served nationally. Then we believe and we know from the geographical point of view that we are not disturbing a very high density residential area around this location. So we are on the Highway 51 corridor. That is a very significant location for us for a good in and out. Before we buy this project, we have been in contact with city planning, with everything what we are doing. And then we got the environmental done as well and phase 1 done as well, just to see that this location is well equipped to provide what our vision is for 15, 20 years when we're gonna be installing the gas pump, underground tanks and everything. It is a right fit or not for us. So every report we have studied and bring on the table for this project came out to be right. That's why we made the decision to buy this project in November 2024. And for the community, yes, of course, we're gonna bring some modern features over here. Safety features gonna be there. Clean bathrooms, 100% gonna be there. And I believe on the sidewalk plan that we would like to adopt, and we would like to make the sidewalk on the property to have the, everything being feasible for the project, what we want to make.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have anything to say, sir?
That's all our together discussion, whatever you said.
Just, okay, gotcha. Anyone have any questions for either one of these gentlemen? Regarding sidewalks, Alderman Klein.
So, if they're going with the old site plan, I mean, we don't have a site plan that we're looking at, do we?
It was up on the screen. I believe everybody had it in their packet. I actually don't see the packets you received, but I believe everybody was given the site plan.
I don't see it. But you're saying it was. Can you get it back up on the screen for me? Because what's very important to me on the site plans is it seems like, and it's not y'all, but first of all, a lot of the Horn Lake citizens feel like we have enough gas stations. But it seems like the last gas station on Hurt Road and Nail, the site plan shows one thing, and now what they built is another thing, because what they presented to us was something way over in the corner with park-like settings in front of it and all this good stuff, and all that's gone now. It's just built right up there on the road. And we probably wouldn't have approved it right there at that school if I knew that it was going to be right there against the road. So site plans are very important for us to be able to make good, decisions.
Can I also say something?
And it gives me the impression that they're pulling a bait and switch on us. When we approve something, that it ought to be what we approved from the site and not changed. Have y'all, has any of the other aldermen, it'd be okay to ask, if they noticed that they've changed? That gas station was tucked way in the corner, and they was going to have driveway coming back to it this way and a driveway coming back this way. And all in that corner was going to be park-like settings, way away from the school. It's right up against the road now. So I feel like we've been bait and switched on that. Do you have it? Is that it there?
Yes, sir. We were just scrolling through it to find the best image. This is the best view of the overall layout.
Okay.
Alderman
Can't
Geis.
really tell much.
Is this your plan or the previous applicant's plan?
So it is previous applicant plan, and there is no change in the zoning scope or design of the plan. It is as it is what City of Horn Lake Planning Department has already approved prior. So we have not done any change because we understand the significance of that. So we just carried that plan and we are making exactly what it has been already approved. Only changes on the bay, the previous owner wanted to build a liquor store. We are not doing the liquor store. We are doing Baskin Robbins or Steakscape, a restaurant.
Steakscape.
Yes.
Unlike most of this board here, we've heard loads of complaints that we have gas stations everywhere. I was one of the ones that moved to change that ordinance because of that, but I've previously voted for this project, so that puts me in a different situation here. But I had spoken with Wes earlier, and I'm not opposed to liquor stores either. I don't mind going in them myself, but I'm seeing them on every one of these little strip centers. There's a little liquor store in there with about 15 bottles of liquor and some Fireball, and that's all that's in there, and that's what we don't need. so, having a restaurant or something like that in there, and mainly not an empty bay, because we have a lot of empty bays around this town. People build these things, and then there's this empty bays. So, knowing that you have a plan, and usually when we ask that, we don't get an answer. So, thank you.
You are absolutely right, because the model works in this way that they make bay and they plan it for 2 years, 3 years, that one of the tenant gonna come and giving them their respective rent, so they're gonna have them inside that building. But for us, as we already have a plan, because for this, we cannot afford to wait for 2-3 years, that could be for bigger developers. For us, we are already bought this plan with the bay we have seen, so we want to bring Baskin-Robbins and Steakscape. So he has a Steakscape experience, and I own Baskin-Robbins by myself. So we are already in the talk with them to bring that in the city of Horn Lake to provide the best what we can. So this place will not gonna be kept open not gonna be kept closed just to searching for the tenant, but it's gonna be applied fast and frequent, very efficiently in the future. You're gonna see that thing coming up.
Anyone else? Alderman Dupree.
Keep that one open myself.
There are 2 gas stations within an eighth of a mile of where your site plan is. Does that not seem like an awful lot of gas stations in one area?
So I would like to counter this in a way that how we see gas station, when we are in the 4 corner and you have 2 already, those 2 gas stations are catering the traffic coming from here and there. The traffic that is coming all the way from here, that is a Highway 51, and that is growing and populating day by day. For their needs, we need a bigger and modern gas station, not the gas station which is being built like in 80s or 90s. I have no personal grudges against them, but my passion is to bring modern architect over there in order to provide the service to the people who are looking forward for safety, clean restrooms, and all the features and amenities what they're looking for.
Well, I didn't vote for it the first time. I've only voted for 1 gas station in the last 4 years. We got enough of them, we got enough liquor stores, we got enough of all this other stuff. We are already known as the gas station capital of DeSoto County. So my vote will be no.
If I would just take one chance to just, try to make an effort in this part is, when we bought this deal, we were not under the umbrella that it will going to convert to CUD.
I understand that.
Okay. We did all the positive efforts to make sure that we build something positive, sir.
Anyone else have any questions for the applicants? Alderman Young.
How y'all doing? Good. I just went over here on the app and I looked, in 2.3 miles, if we approve this, we'll have 5 gas stations in 2.3 miles. The problem I have with that is when you build a gas station that close together, whether it's diagonally or within a concerned area, a very condensed area as this is, you're not doing anything for the citizens of Horn Lake. We're not bringing any more tax revenue. You're just taking money from the other guy. So it's not doing any good for the city. We're just swapping money from that door to your door. It's not like people are going to be coming from South Haven to shop at your store or Walls to shop at your store. I understand what you want to do. And I'm sure that the site plan and just like Mr. Guy said, we don't need any more of these things with vacant bays or whatever, Steakscape and Baskin-Robbins. Just what I need is some more calories. That's exactly what I need. Just like I said, I just don't see the need at that location. I'm sorry, I just don't see it. That's just my opinion.
Of course, I respect your opinion, and just to counter in a very positive way, the two GXO was not there 5 years ago, right? So if there is a warehouse and we are directly in front of the warehouse, see how many thousands of employees gonna be beneficial from our modern services we gonna be providing to them. Then there are two gas stations on the corner. I would really want you to just go inside and experience yourself. And that's the only vision when we were in that street, we wanted to create, because those two gas stations are good, but not very much modern enough to provide more safety and cleanness. Because if a Honda citizen is going inside a station, and if he's not being able to use the restroom, he is smelling everywhere.
I understand.
That is something.
It's a very good argument, but GXO's not there anymore. You know that, right?
Sorry, sir?
GXO's not there anymore. You know that, right?
GXO?
They're not there anymore. There is a distributor company on this end of it that distributes perfumes.
But GXO,
They moved.
yeah, but the building is there, right?
Yeah, the building's still there. It's empty.
Right, of course. GXO is not something I'm dreaming of sleeping with GXO employees,
But,
but
yeah,
it is something that.
But still, we're just taking money away from the other two guys that are there, putting it into your door. And I'm sorry, we're just gonna have to agree to disagree, okay? Thank you.
I respect that. But the population is also increasing, and increasing demands are coming to as well in the cities.
Thank you. Question, Mr. Andrew, about the sidewalks. If these gentlemen did get this approved and put in sidewalks, they wouldn't connect with anything, would they?
That is correct. And so
It'd just be-
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's kind of an ordeal that we go through a lot. If the board required the sidewalks to be built, they would still have to go through the permitting process with MDOT. And so MDOT, they have a policy that when they do their sidewalk review for any proposal on Goodman Road or Highway 51, when it is built out, the ends have to terminate inside of the lot. It cannot terminate connecting to nothing. And so what MDOT would most likely bounce back to them if they sent that proposal would be a sidewalk that may be straight on the majority of that frontage in the right-of-way, and then the ends would typically curve back into the lot, which is a very awkward design.
It's useless.
Yes, you get like 99% of it being usable, but it would look funny. And I can't answer as to whether or not MDOT would just straight up reject it or bounce back that awkward redesign.
So they already have the curb cut from MDOT. That site has a curb cut from MDOT. Forget about the sidewalks, but I mean, it's already been approved from MDOT, having interest and exits.
I can't remember, is there a curb cut already there off of the road? I'm trying to visualize it right now.
There's one.
But typically MDOT does that way ahead. But, I mean, as I said, we can go ahead and approve it on the city side, but MDOT, at the end of the day, is going to they're the ultimate decider as far as that goes.
MDOT is the Mississippi Department of Transportation. You gentlemen, they have the final hammer, so to speak. Anyone else have any questions for these gentlemen?
Just one right quick, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
So this curb cut on the drawing is not correct?
Looking at the map right now. So from what I am seeing, there is a curb cut. It's kind of hard to compare the aerial view to the drawing since there's no reference point, but there's currently a sign out there, and there's a curb cut right at the legs of the sign.
Correct. Okay, thank you. That's what I thought. Thank you, sir.
Anyone else? Well, gentlemen, thank you. We'll let the board vote. Y'all from Gudros? Are y'all from Gudros?
Sorry?
Are you from that part of India called Gudros, or?
No. He's from Nepal. I'm from Pakistan.
Oh, okay, I missed it all the way around.
Thank you very much.
All right, do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Geis.
I'm making this motion because we previously agreed to this, and I think, at least on my part, we need to keep our word on it. Case number 2025-089, site plan extension request for approved gas station on parcel number 10873522000000500. Approve that.
We have a motion by Alderman Geis. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Klein. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please, Miss Julie.
Alderman Klein.
Aye.
Alderman Lissette.
No.
I'm sorry, what was the vote? Nay? Okay. All right.
Alderman Guy.
Aye.
Alderman Mosque.
It was approved back time 2 years ago, but I voted no then, and I'm going to vote now, no now.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Dupree.
Absolutely not.
Alderman Young.
No.
Alderman Dupree, was yours a yea or a nay? Motion fails. 3 in favor, 4 opposed. All right, new business. Would y'all like to take about a 10-minute break before we start the new business? We can just sit here and mummify. Hopefully, we can move through the rest of this quickly. Good evening, we are back. All right. We're on new business, and letter A is a resolution to clean private property, which is now a public hearing and now open. All right. We have a list of properties that have not been maintained. The purpose of this hearing is to have a resolution for the city to go in there and clean them up and to be reimbursed by the property owners. Is there anyone in the audience who has any comments for any of these properties, against any of these properties? Yes, sir. If you will please give your name and address to Mr. Jim.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Board and Mayor. My name's Pinky Dyke. I work with W.H. Porter. We're a surveying engineering firm out of Memphis, Tennessee. We were the engineers of record of one of the parcels here, which is the first parcel listed. I'm just going to read the last three numbers, is 600, which is the detention basin in the Willow Point subdivision phase 3. The owner has mowed that piece of property as of yesterday afternoon and is cleaned up. So I don't know what else, other infractions that were told to them. I've seen the letter, it just said it needed to be cleaned up and mowed. So I don't know if code has any other comments on that or not.
Would you mind if I asked the head of the code department?
No, sir, I
Ms.
would be more than
Belinda,
glad.
did you have any other infractions against this property?
We do not. We are aware that it had been cleaned, but it was already posted and on our resolution, and it would remain in resolution contingent if they didn't clean it or mow. But we are aware of that.
That it has been cleaned?
We are, yes, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Belinda. Anyone on the board have any questions for this gentleman? Anyone? Did you have any other remarks, sir?
No, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Y'all have a good evening.
You have a good evening, sir. Anyone else to speak on any of these properties or that particular piece of property? Ms. Belinda, did you have anything?
No, sir.
All right. That being the case, this public hearing is now closed. Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Bostic.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the resolution to clean the private property of the 4 addresses that are listed.
Second.
The motion, is that on all 3 of them?
4 of them. There's one over to the left there, too.
Oh, I see it now. Thank you, sir. All right, we have a motion by Alderman Bostic. We have a second by Alderman Dupree. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Young. Aye. Alderman Dupree. Aye. Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Foster.
Aye.
Alderman Geis.
Aye.
Alderman Bledsoe.
Aye.
Alderman Flyer.
Aye.
Motion carries 7 in favor, none opposed. All right, letter B. Want a change order. All right. Who's going to explain this to me and to the board? Mr. Jim, is that you
No.
or is that Mr. Fence?
All 3 can do that.
Mr. Vance, are you going to tell us what's?
Did he volunteer me? Okay. Yes, so Mayor, this is the change order for the automatic meter readers. If you recall, or let me just explain what happened. When we bid this, we had a base bid and then we had an additive alternate. So the contractor could either, he had to bid both of those, but when we awarded it, we could have awarded it with base and alternate. And this alternate was basically to add 3,000 meters install 3,000 meters. The city thought they might want to do that. That's why we had it as an additive alternate. But when we awarded the project, we awarded it just with the base bid and not this additive alternate. So after we awarded it, now we have to go back if we want it. The city decided that they did not want to do that, so we're going to have to go back and add these 3,000 meters to install. And that's what this amount here is, $280,000, which was in the original ARPA funding. So the funding is there. We just need to make this addition to the contract, existing contract.
So this is for more meters. Go ahead.
Sir?
All right, anybody have any questions for Mr. Vince? Alderman Bledsoe?
We do have the money.
Yes, sir.
Any more questions? Any more discussion? Do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Bostic?
make a motion to approve the request approval of the change order in the amount of $280,000 to Hardeman Construction Group LLC on the automated meter reading system Part B project to account for the inclusion of additive alternate.
We have a motion by Alderman Bostic. Do we have a second? Second by Alderman Young. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Klein.
Aye.
Alderman Bledsoe.
Oh, yeah.
Alderman Geis.
Aye.
Alderman Bostic.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Dupree. Alderman Young.
Motion carries 7 in favor, none opposed. All right, we're down to letter C, request to purchase a Ram truck for the fire department. Anyone wish to question Chief Limble about it?
Yes, sir, Mayor.
Chief Limble, Alderman Bostic has a question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is this to add to the fleet or to replace one that's on the way out?
It's to replace one. As we was working on the budget for next year, I had put in for 2 new vehicles for next year, but and Mr. Robertson, we got to talking, he said maybe we buy them now. I don't have enough money in my budget to do 2, but if I can do one now, we'll get another one maybe in the next year's budget. But it is to replace the 2010 Ford pickup that Mr. Bledsoe drove for all those years. We still have it. It's still a good truck, and we would, as soon as we get this truck in, we will surplus that over. Well, if the board so wishes, we're going to try to surplus it over to the animal shelter, because I think Mr. Glenn needs a pickup to put another, whatever, dog cages in or whatever, but they've asked for that truck. It's still a good truck, but it would take a 2010 truck off, and I'll be moving this one out.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Alderman Bledsoe?
Hey, Chief, do we still do state contract stuff, or is it absolute gone, or we get
Right
them
now,
cheaper?
there's nothing on state contract. They said they may have some come out in October, but it would still be January or February before we would see them, and I don't know what will be on state contract. There's nothing right now on state contract that I understand from the Dodge or anybody. It may be some Ford pickups, but there's nothing that you can get right now.
Okay, well, I just wondered, because it used to be a lot cheaper with the state contract, but nowadays, they're trying to give these things away.
Anyone
Got
else?
2 quotes. This one's regular 56,000, but they have the 10,000 rebate on it, so it made it 46.
Anyone else? All right, do we have a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Bostic?
I make a motion to approve the request to purchase one Ram truck, 1,500 4x4 for the fire department at a cost of $46,335, being the best and lowest bid.
Second.
We have a motion by Alderman Bostic. We have a second by Alderman Bledsoe. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Young. Alderman Dupree. Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Bostic.
Aye.
Alderman Geis. Alderman Bledsoe.
Aye.
Alderman Klein.
Aye.
Motion carries 7 in favor, none opposed. We're down to number 7, citizens' remarks. Reverend Jimmy Stokes, the mayor-elect for the city. Mayor, I hate to say this, but we have a 3-minute time limit on that.
I won't need all that time.
I'm gonna tell you, next board meeting, you're gonna be appreciating this, a 3-minute come out.
You have counseled me wisely so far, so I will continue to remember it. I won't be long. I think Alderman Bostic was trying to get a job as a bouncer at Cheers earlier. But to Mayor Adam and the Board of Aldermen, thank you for your dedicated service to the city of Horn Lake, Mississippi. As we witnessed today, our new animal shelter is truly exceptional, and I think you all should be commended for what you've done to get us the animal shelter. It stands as a testament to the great things our city can achieve. We look forward to continuing to set the same high standards as we work to bring new opportunities to the citizens and families of Horn Lake. I'm here to request your approval of a transition team comprised of experienced professionals. The team will assist in advising, assessing, and implementing my vision for Horn Lake to move forward from the first day in office. Utilizing the transition team is a standard practice across government that help facilitate the transfer of powers and ensure a smooth and informed transition. Typically, such efforts are funded within the existing budget, but I've been informed there is no budget for this. The team members will receive relevant documents such as policies and procedures and will meet with the staff and department leaders on my behalf or alongside me as necessary. The goal is to ensure I'm fully informed and advised on my first day and throughout my tenure as mayor. I would greatly appreciate your support in granting me the opportunity to have a transition team assist me over the next couple of weeks. Thank you again, Mayor and Board.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for Reverend Stokes? Comments? Thank you, Reverend. Reverend, my concern about a transitional team, and you know I'm trying to do everything I can to work so you can have a easy transition, and I appreciate you working with all the staff, but number one, it will slow down their productivity. People, how many people are you talking about on this team?
Maybe 5, pretty much 5.
All right, and then when you say a transitional team, what you've said is that some of these people on the staff will probably be out.
Right.
And I don't think that would be a good thing for morale, because if they think they're going to be leaving, because this is a great team, and I want to thank them all for everything they do, from the department heads down to the most newly hired person. But when you say we're going to bring in a transitional team, what you're saying is we're going to change, we're going to take some people out, put some people in. And you're going to have people start looking around for jobs. And some of your good people might latch onto a job somewhere else, and then you'll be in worse shape than ever, because you've got people that, you've been coming to the staff meetings, and I appreciate that. You see how they work together, how they're comfortable around each other. I cannot, your transitional team, are these people that know anything about government?
Oh, yes, sir. They're not looking for jobs here, sir. Their job is to prepare me, make sure I'm fully prepared from day one.
Well,
Yes.
who are they?
Well, we're still working on it, finalizing, but it'd be like other former mayors, attorneys, my attorney be involved too. But she's also working with city government already.
Well, like I say, the board, of course, votes.
Right.
From my point of view, I think you would be better served to wait till July the 1st. But then, of course, this is your request, and certainly it goes before the board.
Yeah, transitional teams normally operate before.
Sir?
Transitional teams come into play before you actually go into office. They prepare you, make sure you're ready, make sure you're informed.
Well, I thought we've been working pretty good with you.
Well, that's a
And-
reason.
and, you
That's
know,
a reason
you're-
why I normally
and
come.
you're not giving us names of anybody you're
Yes.
bringing in?
Well, we're still
Or
interviewing.
any of their background, or anything. Believe it or not, I'm trying to help you.
Right. Yes.
And, because I think the transitional team is going to create you a lot of problems that you definitely won't need. But again, that's the decision of the board. So the board has, Reverend Stokes, our new mayor-elect, has requested you fund, right, pay these people.
No, you don't have to pay them, sir.
All right, so it's
Now,
non-paying.
if you want to, now, Mayor, I'm not stopping you.
He wants to bring in a volunteer transitional team. He's asking the board for the approval to do that. Do anybody have a motion?
I have a question.
Pardon?
I have a question.
Oh, yes, sir.
The transitional team. So I heard your side and I heard the mayor's. Which is it? Are you bringing people in to replace people?
Oh, no, they're coming in as
Okay.
advisors, mentors and advisors. Someone probably assist me along the way if they accept. But their job is to get with me, make sure I know everything about it. It's my first time doing it, so guess what? I want to make sure I get all the wisdom around me as possible. Mayor has done a great job helping me out, by the way. But I do want to bring a team that's going to be surrounded. They won't be bothering city employees as much as I'm already bothering. So I think I've already gotten around, talked to everybody, spent time with them. But the goal is to also make sure I'm 100% prepared on day one on the things that I don't know. So if you have a former mayor that's also coming in with a different perspective and you have people coming in, that's what I'm surrounded with. And then I get to move as according.
Is that a former mayor of Horn Lake?
No, sir.
Where's he from, sir?
I can't remember. I just know, no, I got 2 or 3 of them that's been suggested.
Are they out of Memphis?
No, they out of Mississippi.
Okay.
Mississippi. Yeah, everybody I'm working with is Mississippi.
When I was fortunate enough to be elected the first time, Mayor Baker introduced me to each department head, and that was it. That was it. There was no consultant like we've tried to help you with and everything. And you're a very intelligent gentleman, so we have tried our best to, anytime you've requested anything, to provide that for you and to explain it for you. And I really think that it would harm you more than it would help you. But that's just my personal feelings. All right. Alderman Geis.
I've got a procedural question, I guess. The transition team, I would think, would be involved into the admin or part of the government under you, not the legislative branch. So as a board, can we vote people in to do that? I'm just curious,
We have not had one approved in any prior change of administration, at least since I've been here in 1997. So I can't speak to any experience as to what Horn Lake has done in the past. But it's not uncommon for large cities to have transition teams. You'll see that in Memphis. I think Jackson, Mississippi, probably. I know they're doing it because I've seen stories about that. So it's not uncommon for larger cities to have it and actually have a budget for it. We've just never had one here. But by approving one, it would allow those individuals to come into City Hall and meet with department heads and request, like he's mentioned, certain policies that we have now, or get up to speed on certain things, because Mr. Stokes probably can't do it all himself in the next couple of weeks, and that would allow others to get involved in that process and kind of give it to him as he needs it.
We got a pretty big turnover here too, so you're going to have a new mayor, a majority new board, and a lot of them not knowing the procedures and policies of any of it. So it's kind of an unusual situation. So I didn't know if that was something we could lawfully do or not.
So it's lawful to do that?
Yes, sir.
And the reason I was asking who they are, because you're going to be asking policy questions and all city business. And I'm a little leery about people that don't work for the city or not contracting with the city or whatever, just to walk in. And when you get to be on July 1st, that would be entirely your decision. But well, I've already said my piece, so I'm not going to be repetitious. All right. Yes, sir.
Would it be possible for him to, I know you're wanting to help, could he provide a list of all the information that he's wanting for the transition, so you can see if that's stuff that you can provide to people that don't work for the city?
We can do our best.
Yes, sir.
Because I know you're adding all this on top of what they're already doing.
Yes.
And I think it might be, you're overworking. You know as well as I do, a lot of people, we've got one job. Some cities have 2 guys or women to do one job. We have one person to do 2 or 3 jobs. And then if you add something else on top of it, it's just another burden. I mean, we would be more than willing to share anything. We're almost through with our audit. Last year's audit was no findings. It was really excellent. I look for this year to be the same way. I'm just a little bit leery about people that don't work for the city just coming in and say, well, what's this? There's nothing to hide. But, you know, we got police cases, we got fire investigations, we've got that. But anyway, that's up to the board. Y'all heard the request of Mayor-elect Stokes? Look, I'm not gonna get upset, so. All right, Alderman Young.
Mr. Stokes, would it be beneficial to you, I mean, what you do outside the premise of this building right now is certainly up to you. So if you wanted to appoint these people to be on your transition team, I don't think anybody here would have a problem with that. I think the problem with that is there is technically not really confidential information, but there's stuff that we don't, sensitive information, we don't need out there.
We won't be doing sensitive,
No,
most of it be public.
I understand. I understand what, the point I'm making is, would it be feasible for you and Mayor, would this be something that would be possible, excuse me, if you did your transition team outside the confines of this building? They can't, you know, they're not gonna be allowed to come in here is what the mayor's saying, and I agree with that because it's gonna disrupt daily operations. We still have a city to run. But would it be something where you could communicate and email the mayor and say, hey, I would like to have the numbers for retail sales for 22, 23, 24, you know what I'm saying? And request what you need for your team to get you up to speed. Because I promise, when you come on this side of it, and some of these older people, this is a whole different banana split than what you're used to. And, I'm not opposed to you doing that. I think it's a very good thing, actually. But I also see the mayor's position. Some of this stuff does not need to be just that people, you know, and I'm not saying they're gonna be running all over the building, but slowing down the production of day-to-day operations. We still got a city to run. So maybe there's a fine line in there y'all can teeter on. Maybe that accomplishes both of those things.
Thank you, Mayor Young. Excellent question. I would be managing it. Trust me, I can make sure it's limited to not interrupting with city business no more than what I've been doing over the last 2 weeks. But however, these individuals, I'll definitely be managing and controlling it. But this would be no different from any other government that practice transition processes.
Why will you not give us their names?
I haven't finalized. I'm still interviewing. Some of them are
So
still
you're
interviewing.
asking
Only one I can
the
tell
board
you,
to-
only one I can give you is my attorney, Ravonda Griffin.
Who?
My attorney, Ravonda Griffin.
I see you're asking the board to vote for a transition team, but you're not even telling who they are.
Well, normally, whenever you have a process, the individual that's been elected get to pick his own and get to, you know, so they normally reveal it once I find out who it's gonna be, so I'm still working on that.
To go back to remarks by Alderman Young, a lot of people, when they want to bring in a business, a big business, the last thing they want is it out in public till they finalize it. Because what happens is, if there's, so-and-so's gonna bring in a big operation, they're gonna hire 400 people, other land goes up in value. And then plus, they don't like to get everybody's hopes built up. There has to be a lot of confidentiality, even with the county, when they have new prospects coming in, they won't say the name of the company. They have a code name, and that's it. And so you're requesting that people that you have not picked yet, have no name, to come in here and see what the city is doing, especially on 2 projects. I filled you in on one, yeah, and you know, I appreciate your confidentiality. But when you start bringing in people in, that gets all out in the open, that might blow the thing right open.
We'll work together, Mr. Mayor, to make sure certain
Well,
things stay confidential.
You know, respectfully, I'm opposed to it, not because of you, because I'm opposed to the idea of a transition team for several reasons. And one of them being the morale of our good people, a little over 200 people that work for the city. But July the 1st, they work for you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else have a comment? Okay, Reverend Stokes, Mayor-elect Stokes needs a motion. Anyone want to make a motion? Anyone make a motion?
Mayor,
Alderman Johnson.
I'd like to make a motion for a transition team. Because everyone's so new, I think we do need some sort of team of someone to come in to help. So I do motion that we have a small team to come in for the next couple of weeks.
So your motion is to approve a transition team
Yes, sir.
with no names?
They can certainly be vetted once he gets that team. I don't mind that.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand you, Alderman.
I said, I believe they could probably be vetted very well once he gets those names and those people to you.
Who's going to vet them, Alderman?
Now that I'm unsure of. I haven't thought that far.
You're still ahead of me, so it's okay. Well, Alderman Johnson's made a motion to approve a transition team for Reverend Stokes. Is there a second? 3 calls. Is there a second on Alderman Johnson's motion? Is there a second on Alderman Johnson's motion? Motion dies for lack of a second. Ms. Kirby Carter. Would you pass that down, please? I think Mr. Prentice has left. Reverend Stokes ate up your time. You've got 40 seconds left.
Talk fast. I just wanted to thank the board for all you've done the past 4 years. I wanted to encourage you guys, just as you have done the Horn Lake citizens for the past 4 years. I want to encourage you all to please stay positively involved in our community. Our kids need all the positive that they can get. They need all the positive examples, the role models, they need that. We must remember that our community is changed by our examples, not our opinions. And I wanted to leave you guys with a quote I've shared with you guys here at the board meeting before. Helen Keller said it best when she said, "Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much." Thank you all.
Ms. Carter,
Yes, sir.
thank you. You're a very positive influence, and I thank you for that, ma'am.
We need all we can get. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
All right, we're down to number 8, Mayor Alderman correspondence. I do not know how to put into words how thankful I am and grateful for the people of Horn Lake allowing me to serve in this capacity for 12 years. 97% of the time it's been really fun, 3% of the time it's been really bad. But I want to thank you for all the help that you've been. I really, really appreciate all your help. And I want to thank this board and the previous boards, the department heads, and every gentleman and lady that works for the city of Horn Lake for all you have done to make our city a safe place and a better place. And I want to extend that same gratitude to our businesses, because without them, we would not have had the funding to do the things that were accomplished, nor would they have the services here for our citizens. So Jimmy Durante used to always close his show with "Good night, Miss Calabash," wherever you are. So I want to say I hope the Lord blesses and protects each and every one of you. Alderman Young, do you have anything, sir? Alderman Dupree, you have anything?
Yes, sir. Mr. Jim, I guess I can ask this when it comes around to you, but since I'm already here. What is our last ending bank statement?
Those are in your packet.
Yeah, I just want everybody to know it.
Okay. I will. pull these up. I mean, we do have close to, just for the public's knowledge, we do have close to 23 different accounts. And I can.
Just a general fund.
I can run through that. I mean, pooled cash, if you look at the screen, just going down through there, pooled cash, we have a little over 4.6 million. Enterprise is our utility fund, has 456,000. Court bond is 1.7, almost 1.8 in there. Our modernization, which is the internet sales, has 2.3, and the ARPA has 3.7. These funds fluctuate when we're paying for different projects, so you'll see those fluctuate down as we're paying for different projects for those. Our occupancy, which is the hotel motel tax, you all voted to move some of those funds, do that budget amendment, so we will be in compliance within the 10%. Has a little over $1 million in there. City Hall renovation still has funds in there, which we have to move to for the funds that we have paid for that. And some of these actually should have been transferred out. The Alden Station has 56,000. One of our Senate bills that we received funding for has 163, which some of these I asked Miss Marie, because we've closed those projects out to transfer those over. Got Amazon, which is actually a surety bond, has a little over 5,000 in it. Discretionary fund, you all know what that is. You all contribute to that for different bereavement type issues when we have folks pass. The health reimbursement, which is our FSA fund, has a little over 85,000 in there. Payroll fluctuates up and down. We have to transfer funds into that when we have payroll. It has 310, a little over. Rainy day fund, we have over 2 million in there. We have an interest and noted interest fund, which is a little over $100. Our drug seizure fund has a little over 97,000. Animal shelter, which we've got to be transferring that because we do have had quite a few pay apps approved on that. And our Senate Bill 2468, which those funds had been moved because we had to pay for that. So a little over 22 million in our main bank. We do have several CDs in there also that come up to a little over 234,000, which two are not showing up on our, we have more CDs for some reason than not showing up on our internet banking. And then as Chief Linville has mentioned in the past, our ambulance billing goes into Bank Plus account. So we have a little over $500,000 there in our Bank Plus account, which is our ambulance billing. But those, we put these in your packet each board meeting twice a month, so you'll see those fluctuate up and down. So, I mean, if you look at those, we have a little over 20, close to $23 million in the bank.
So I just want to let the citizens know, we got $22 million in the bank.
Anything else, sir?
No, that's all.
Alderman Bostic, you have anything, sir? Alderman Begais?
First, I wanted to thank everybody coming out to the animal shelter grand opening today. The shelter staff did a great job, and Mr. Jim did, and everybody setting that up. And also, I'd want to thank everybody. Served the city of Horn Lake for, I tried to add it up today, doesn't sound right, 33 years. Almost eight of it as an alderman, and it's been an honor to serve the community and worked with the best department heads in the state, if you ask me. So I hope the next incoming administration looks at those people hard and sees what good of a job they did. You've got the best people here. And the city, you're inheriting a city in good financial shape. And I don't have no doubt that the new people coming in and the remaining board members will do a good job adding to what we did and moving the city forward in a positive direction. So if anyone ever needs my help, what little knowledge I have, I'm glad to provide it. And I'll be sitting on the front row out here listening to the new board and adding my input if it's wanted or not. So, but thank you. I appreciate it.
Alderman Bledsoe, you have anything, sir?
Yes, sir. I've been up here for 3 board, I guess, years and years and years and years, and I enjoyed working with this board. Like the mayor said, we had a lot of good times. We were broke at one time, and now we have quite a bit of money in the bank, and I hope it continues to grow and grow and grow. And I have to take my shoes off to count it, but I really enjoyed working with all the board members and the mayor sometimes. That was a joke. Me and him get along pretty good. And the new board, when y'all come on, I hope we all get together and work together and raise this city up, because I'm tired of people saying things about Horn Lake that I don't agree with. And maybe we can all work together and bring it up and show them that y'all are not right. So that's all I got, Mayor.
Alderman Klein, you have anything, sir?
Yes, Mayor. Well, looking back over the last 4 years, it's been an honor, to serve the citizens of Horn Lake. And also it's been an honor to run for mayor. We was able to cover a lot of topics, and I think I pushed Mr. Stokes to his limit there, and I think the citizens are going to be expecting big things from them. I do. But it's been an honor working with y'all and all the department heads. I wish all the best. Y'all been awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mayor, before we start on department correspondence, could we entertain a motion to extend the meeting time?
Do we have a motion to extend the meeting time?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Alderman Bostic to extend the meeting time. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Bostic. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderman Klein.
Aye.
Alderman Bledsoe.
Aye.
Alderman Geis.
Aye.
Alderman Bostic.
Aye.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman Dupree. Alderman Young.
Motion carries 7 in favor, none opposed. Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Oh, Alderman Johnson. Your vote, please, ma'am.
Aye.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Alderman correspondence, I'm sorry. You're not here in your chair. Did you have anything for anybody, Alderman Johnson?
Yes, sir. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to thank the entire board who was there for your hard work and dedication. I do wish that I could be there to give my well wishes personally, so I do apologize for that. But Mayor, you've certainly been a force, a great example in your leadership style and your friendliness and just open arms and being so welcoming. Alderman Young, thank you so much for your guidance, your fun, your quick-wittedness. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Alderman Dupree, just thank you for being along beside me keeping me going and just helping me out, always inviting me out, just being so welcoming. I thank you. Alderman Klein, such a wonderful soul, my goodness. I can't ask for a better person to know and to just be in your life. Thank you so much. Mr. Robinson, oh my goodness, thank you, prayer warrior, for your hard work and dedication that you provided. And last but not least, my buddy, we came in just about together. Alderman Geis, thank you so much for everything, all your encouragement and just pushing me forward. So may God richly bless every single one of you. I thank God for you, and I thank you for all that you've done for our city. I'm so sorry that I went on a little long, but I certainly appreciate you, gentlemen.
Thank you for those very kind words. We certainly appreciate you too, Alderman. You work awfully hard for the citizens of Horn Lake.
We love you.
Thank you.
Chief Pullen, since you came in second in the pepper eating contest today, do you have anything for the board? I didn't mean to say that.
Yes, sir, Mayor. I want to thank you all for your support of me, but mostly for the support that y'all have shown my department. I greatly appreciate it. And we do challenge the fire department to a rematch.
Will you be the one eating the peppers again?
Yes, sir. Chief Limble will.
Anyone have any questions for? Anyone have any questions for Chief Pullen? Mr. Box, you have anything for the board?
Yes, sir. I just would like to just, what Chief said. I really, truly thank y'all for the support that y'all have given me, given my department. I kind of came up with y'all. I've been Public Works Director for about 3.5 years now. So, and I really appreciate all the support and everything you give me. And Mayor, I really appreciate you as well. I mean, you've been an inspiring mayor, so I really do appreciate you, sir.
Anyone have any comments for Mr. Box? But Alderman Dupree.
Out of all the phone calls I've made to the mayor and you've never let us down. You've never let the city down one time. Anything that ever needed to be done, it got done. Whether it was a pothole or a main water line break. To the new board, everyone you see up here is the best of the best. So, I'm getting a little choked up, but I really hope that you take a good close look at each one of them and know that you're in good hands because of them. Thank you.
Chief Limble was the winner of the pepper eating contest today. Are you able to speak, Chief?
I'm going to try, Mayor.
All
I
right.
promise. I'm going to try. But Nikki was a good sport. She came in there and she kept eating right beside him, but we just run out of time. I don't know that I'd have wondered if she'd had more time. She was really eating them or cutting half of them off. I don't know really what. But it was fun. We had a good time, and I don't really want to do a rematch because that was pretty good. We did good. We'll have to see if Whataburger wants a rematch. So, on behalf of the board and mayor, I'd have to say the same as the other department heads at this point. It's been a great pleasure working with you. I think the fire department's come a long way. I only asked for a pickup because we didn't know if we'd get it in the budget next year because I need an ambulance. So I'm going to be working with the new mayor over an ambulance. So it's going to be it's more like the 300,000. So,
I'm going to say he's giving you the high dollar thing, Reverend.
Well, we didn't have enough money to go that big. Again, it's been a pleasure working with each and every one of you, and I know for a fact the fire department has come a long way over the last 4 years. It's come a long way over the last 8 years, and even before that, it's been a growing process. And I do feel like that I see a lot more for the fire department in the near future, and I feel like we can take it to the next level and get another lower rating. And so it just takes time. We're working on a training center, so I hope we can finish that. It's just going to take time. But we did do Fire Academy for Kids, had a good graduation last Friday. If you was there, great. If you missed it, I'm sorry. Maybe next time. But it all worked good. Thank you.
Anyone have any questions or comments for Chief Limble? Mr. Drew, congratulations on a successful tournament. You dried out the field.
Yes, sir. It was a mess this week, but we got out there, we worked those fields, and the Disney Dean State Tournament was a success. So, yes, sir, it was great. I'm along with the other department heads here. I just want to say thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you so much, board, every board member up here. Thank you to your families. Your families helped us out all the time at events and help support us all the time. We've made a lot of strides over the last 4 years at the parks. We've had so many improvements, and I just want to say thank you so much for that. For the future, we're going to continue to make improvements. We're going to continue to be the best park system in the state. And like I said, I just thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Thank you, sir. Anyone have any questions, comments for Mr. Drew? Mr. Vance, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mayor.
Do you have anything for the board, sir?
I do not, Mayor, other than just echo what we've heard here this afternoon as far as working with the board and you, Mayor, and certainly would say that it's been an honor and a privilege to work with people that are so passionate about, their drive to make this city better. And I certainly look forward to, the future, what it holds here, and the potential that's here that can be tapped into, and I look forward to seeing that. And I guess, Mayor, I would be remiss if I didn't say that, I know the senator mentioned about you liking trains, and I just want to say that I really love trains myself. I don't know if you knew that or not. I actually got in the wrong line when I was at Ole Miss. I signed up for the engineering, civil engineering instead of the train engineer. It all worked out, so I just thank y'all, Mayor.
You probably made the right choice. Does anyone have any questions or comments for Mr. Vance? Mr. Glenn, congratulations on a spectacular day.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
a very, very special day down there.
Thank you, sir. It was indeed. I woke up this morning to being featured on the news about this grand opening, and I am again going to echo what the rest of my fellow department heads have said, and just acknowledge you all. I think that it is very admirable to be open-minded and to just not be in your way. That is what we are basing my operation off of. We are non-judgmental, we are welcoming, and we are friendly. And so I feel like we fit right on in when I joined Horn Lake, because this is what you showed me. Every last one of you welcomed me in. I'm almost the newest kid on the block, but I guess not anymore, now that we have Andrew and Belinda. But when I came here, I immediately noticed that I was welcomed and that you were all friendly. And Mayor, your humility moved me, it touched me, and it motivated me. And this is why I worked so hard to make you all proud. So thank you for serving with me. Thank you for being there for me, and thanking you for allowing me to be great and show everything that I could show you all.
Well, you've done an excellent, excellent job. Was that your little puppy in there with that big black dog today?
Those were both my dogs. That was Willow and Winston. And that's the team right there. They're nothing but trouble. Don't worry about it.
Winston was snappy as always.
Yeah, because he had Willow there with him. So that's when he really shows out.
Anyone have any questions or comments for Mr. Glenn. Mr. Andrew, do you have anything else for the board, sir?
I'd like to thank everybody for their service to the city, and thank you all for allowing me to be here. And I do believe we have an even better future ahead of us, and so I would welcome anyone to come back and meet with us and keep working with us. But for those that are going to go to other things, thank you for your time here, and thanks for the help.
Thank you, sir. Anyone have any questions or comments? Alderman Klein.
Mr. Andrew, how are we coming on our comprehensive plan?
Yes, sir. So I did have a recent conversation with Bob Barber, and this summer we are revisiting all of our chapters with the extra growth we've had in the city. We're having fewer and fewer developable spaces. We've kind of had to reassess some extra focuses on flooding issues. So a lot of our comprehensive plan is now going to have more specific policy proposals on floodplain protections, regulations such as potential stream buffers, which MDEQ is already requiring us to put together stream buffers. But we're assessing what the state is requiring and looking at what other cities and other states are doing. And so that's just one of the few examples that we're reassessing right now. But we are looking at this summer at least proposing a draft to be voted on and discussed as a public hearing. And we're kind of bouncing around the ideas of maybe some more public input. Currently, we have a Safe Streets for All committee that we're doing as a separate project to create a separate plan, where the planning department's partnering with Neil Schaefer and the Memphis MPO to have this separate plan that is going to reflect the same things as the comprehensive plan. So we're kind of doing both of those to mirror each other. But yeah, that's just a little glimpse into it. We haven't dropped it. We've just been working behind the scenes to make it even better as we learn more.
So would you say in 2026 you'll have one submitted to this, not this board, but the new board?
Yes, sir, absolutely. We're looking at having the entire thing in final draft form, debated on, and then approved in the year 2025.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Belinda, did you have anything for the board?
Yes, sir. I would like to say thank you to each and every one of you who walked me through protocol and answered every single question that I've had, even the insignificant. I mean, they may seem small to you, but they were large to me. And every conversation we had, Mayor, about me, rabbit hunting, absolutely. I'll miss them.
You've done a great job. Anyone have any questions or comments for Ms. Belinda? Mr. Rodney, did you have anything, sir?
No, sir, just to echo whatever all the other department heads are saying. It's been a pleasure working with each and every one of you guys. A lot of y'all started about around the same time I did, and some's been here a little fewer, but we've both seen the city at its lowest point, and now we've seen it at its highest point. So I hope we continue to grow, and I'm going to miss each and every one of you guys. I appreciate all your support over the years.
Thank you, sir, for the job you do. Anyone have any questions or comments?
Mayor.
Oh, yes, sir.
Rodney, you've been really exceptional in your job. Every time there's a problem, you've been on top of it. Like, we've had issues with the trash really bad. You've done a great job with that. And I hope everybody sees that, how good of a job you've done. Thank you.
Alderman, excuse me, Mr. Glenn.
Do you think it would be appropriate for Director Box and I to have like a potato sack contest since the fire department and the police department are doing this. I feel a little left out.
Well, if you do it before July the
Accept it,
1st,
potato sack contest.
if you do it before July the 1st, that's fine with me. After July the 1st, you have to ask Mayor Stokes.
Okay, okay. After July 1st, we'll be asking for a different contest between different department head. Thank you.
Mr. Jim, you have anything for the board?
Yes, sir, I do. I'm not going to give a percentage like you did. I'll refrain from that. I mean, you broke down the good and the bad. But I will share that this past decade, I follow the direction that the Lord leads me, and He opened this door. And I'll echo somebody that I heard earlier this week say, if I would have known what I was going to get into, I probably wouldn't have come through that door that the Lord opened. But the Lord has a purpose for everything, and I appreciate what the Lord has brought me through while I've been here this past decade. And it's going to be bittersweet. I was just reflecting while everybody was talking. Since I've been here, I've headed up 2 elections and a special election that we had to have for the city. I've been here through 3 police chiefs, 3 public works directors, 2 parks directors, 3 animal control directors, 5 planning directors, 4 finance directors, and 3 IT directors. Hope that's not a reflection that it went that way because I had been here for 10 years. But I will echo what has already been said. This group right here is the best that I've worked with. I listed a lot that I've worked through, and I can tell you this team works the best as a team, better than all the others that were in those seats, and not taking away from those that were in those seats, because we had some good directors. And my job has been easier because of these directors and you, Mayor. I appreciate the opportunity to work for you and this board. And I tell you, we have a lot, I've shared with a lot of people, we have a lot of things going, a lot of projects, and we've been moving forward. In 2015, when I came here, we were holding payments to vendors so we could make payroll. And as we shared today, we have close to $23 million in the bank, and it was not like that in 2015. But with all that we have going, I do want to mention Neil Schaefer and Vince and Billy. I could not do my job on a daily and weekly basis without their wisdom. So appreciate that, and it.
Anything else, Mr. Jim?
That is it.
All right. Anyone have any questions or comments for Mr. Jim?
Oh.
He left me out. He left me out.
I left you out because you've been here the whole time. So we do have we have had consistency in the fire department. So I appreciate it, Mr. David. That is, the fire department's been a strong standing suit there, and the other departments have been strong. But I was just reflecting on the changes we've had. But I did want to share, I do have the sales tax that I said I was going to have this report, and I put that on your, at your seat. And I will, you can note so far this year, you can see October through April. Unfortunately, we have some trending that does not look that positive. You can see this past sales tax that came in, $612,867, is $57,000 less than what we've had this same month last year. With sales tax, you know, everybody knows it's 2 months behind, so you know, we just recorded this, but this is for the month of April. You can see down there in that farthest column, down towards the bottom, the highlighted, we are running 46,000 ahead for the year. But considering, you know, where we have ended some of the other years, that is running a little low. Hopefully, this trend of less than the previous month of the previous year will not continue, and we'll have some strong sales tax. But I did want to mention that sales tax report, and hopefully you can, the next board will keep receiving that information on the sales tax. But that is it.
Mr. Jim, I thank you for being the excellent city administrator you have. You put your heart and soul into it and worked and saved the city a lot of money. And I certainly thank you and wish you and your family well.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Mr. Campbell, did you have anything, sir?
I do, Mr. Mayor, but Mr. Feinstein is ahead of me on the agenda.
Mr. Feinstein, how many of y'all have ever read the book or seen the movie Alice in Wonderland? Here's the inspiration for the Mad Hatter coming right down the aisle. Mr. Feinstein.
Mr. Mayor and Board, Jim, let's see, where do you have my screen? It's all right. I wanted to kind of give you guys an exit debrief a little bit, try and be brief in that matter itself. But also wanted to thank you guys each for your support in helping us build an IT department and IT for the city. A good example would be tonight. Everything's working. We had 15 or less, we didn't even have 15 minutes to get ready, but we were able to get the microphones in place and online within 15 minutes of getting the room. And Alderman Johnson joined in on Teams within 20 minutes of the whole process, which when I got here, that would have been impossible. It took about 45 minutes, no matter how fast I ran, to get it done. So that's a kudos to you guys and to Jim and the renovation and vision that we've had. What I wanted to show you real quick is we have moved to the next phase with our security. Last week I left you with policies, which are basically just procedures of how we're going to respond in a catastrophic event, be it a virus or outages, how we're going to be doing backups and tests and everything that are mandated by CGIS and other agencies. So Arctic Wolf was who we went with to help us set sensors up and start scanning our networks. InfoSight is the one that wrote the document that I gave you last week or last meeting. They're coming in for interviews with each of the department heads the week of the 14th of July. And they're going to basically do a business process analysis, talk to everybody about how they do business, where they store their files, what software they're using, and then validate that it is compliant. With Arctic Wolf, what we're able to do now is actually see everything that's going on our network and scan every packet and device. This is a good file that I shared with the directors this week, but this is showing where people are trying to log into our network globally. A lot of people say, why, we don't have anything super important here, but we actually do, and people are trying to get in. And this just kind of shows you the states and where in the world they're coming from. So we've got attacks coming from Hong Kong and Russia against usernames in our city. This is just login failures that it records, everyone that comes in. Shows who, what, and where. I know unfair on Alderman Bostic that it showed his name because we had problems with his email a couple weeks ago and it logged that. But this is also every email address or username and where it's being people are trying to log in. You see that Mike Geist's old police email is up there. And what that means is somewhere out there it was leaked or put on a dark website, and even though that email doesn't exist, people are still trying to use it to get in. We can see Denise, we can see other users that are not in here. So these are all good things, and it also tells us what IP address and where that's coming from. We've got another report, which I'll show you. And again, none of this was going on when we got here. We could not have retained any of this data. There should have been a second page. Oh, there it is over there. Nope. Jim, I might need your assistance. Can you scroll it all the way to the right in that? Yeah, go all the way to the right. Anyway, the second one is going to show you by PC on our networks where they're pointing to going out. So if there is a malware on those PCs or there's a communication that's going out, it's telling us the destination, what port it's going over, and where it's going. I think it's going to be up tighter. Off to the right. There it is, right there. Can you scroll that all the way over to that second document? So basically what it's letting us know is if there is something on there. And we have found that several of our servers or even workstations are communicating out. This screenshot here shows us where we are. I know Alderman Bledsoe had asked, are we 70% there? Are we 80? Are we almost there? Well, this is in actuality where we are with compliance that we'll be working with on the state and the other two agencies. The current risk score is a 6.7. It's down 2 points from last week, which is good. The benchmark risk score is where you go through and you look at every device on the network and you look at how compliant it is. Are the proper lockdowns in place? Are you encrypting the drives? Are you patching it when it needs to be? And then also group policies across the network. You can see there that we're running about a 60%, and that's kind of where we are now, is starting to enforce policy and make sure that we have things covered. Unresolved risk, that is showing us, like you see here, all the PCs that have a leak or some sort of a JavaScript or something like that. I can go out now and I can look up what the fix for that is. This one you can see is our CAD server. It's got a leak for brute force logins, which means that you can sit there and pound it with a username or something that they picked up somewhere, and then you can fake the credentials. That's not happening, but our software is testing us against that. The Jetty and the Tomcat, that's a known vulnerability across a lot of third-party software. So we've opened up a case with the people at CAD for both those servers. We have to make sure, A, before we fix it, that we don't break their product, because a lot of times people don't test against patches, which is one of the big things with Munis and why we had so many problems there. We couldn't patch past things they weren't testing, which thank God we're getting away from them. But again, I just wanted to show you guys this. This is something that we focused on in the last 8 months. I think it was last November I came before you with the new document that we had just learned about of the deadline for CJIS for us to meet compliance. We're not there yet, but we're so much closer, hopefully after the interviews with each of the department heads and us being able to get some answers from vendors, we'll be able to have all this locked down and we'll be able to say, you know, hey, we've done it. I know Ms. AJ is in contact with the people from Arctic Wolf and the liability and warranty insurance that we picked up with them to get our electronic data security liability down cost. So she's going to use that to hopefully save us some money there as well. So again, thank you for allowing me to bring the city of Horn Lake and its IT up to standards. I think I said earlier this week in the directors meeting, and Jim quoted me, that, you know, if I would have known the state of things when I got here, I probably wouldn't have taken the job. I don't back away from challenges. This is definitely one. My challenge now is, I know I'm not the most popular person, but that's what security is about. Nobody likes it. Nobody wants to have their screens time out. Nobody wants to have to do things to protect the data, or why do we do it? Because we're nobodies. Well, actually, that's who they're looking for, is nobodies. And we've learned that, and, you know, we're looking for ways to make it all work and be compliant and keep everybody's data protected. So thank you again. I'll miss working with most of you, except for the mayor. I think he'll be calling me for IT support at home. Remind him I am not with the Geek Squad. So that is others. I am the Mad Hatter. So I'll bring you some acid maybe. I don't know. Thank you very much, and y'all have a good evening.
Mr. Daniel, thank you so much. And in all seriousness, we're fortunate to have Mr. Daniel and Mr. Jonathan, and they have worked like dogs to get our IT department up to snuff and to bring in security measures. I wasn't even aware that the state audits for your security on computers. I didn't know that till Mr. Daniel informed me. So we thank you, and I wish you well, sir. I hope so. I hope so. Mr. Campbell, you have something? All right.
I wanted to say something to Mr. Daniels. Well, first of all, Mr. Daniels become a Horn Lake citizen. When he moved.
Yes, I have. I can actually harass the
Yeah.
board.
So you know the city's going in the right direction when you get people that are working in Horn Lake move to live here in Horn Lake. So, welcome. And I'm going to tell you how much I appreciate all the efforts that you've put forth. Because I'm going to tell you, IT department, everybody thinks a bunch of nerds, but they're protecting us in the life that we have out there now. They're bombarding constantly. So you're like our first line of defense out there on the digital world. And I'm curious, where do you see AI in the near future for the city?
We're implementing AI right now. I mean, part of the Arctic Wolf platform is testing against automatically everything that comes in. I use AI all the time to look up and research problems and try and find resolutions. I even help the mayor write sometimes with AI.
We had fun with that. I was amazed by that.
Yes.
I was absolutely amazed.
Yes. So there's so many different avenues and so many different things with AI. From an IT standpoint, it makes us more efficient. Things that I would have to call into a help desk to get answers, or even look up some of the problems there and how to resolve them. I can now use AI to go out and find the answer or give me an understanding of it and even point me in the right direction, so I'm not hunting and pecking through the software.
Yeah.
But we're definitely moving to it. I've already spoken with one or two of the new aldermen about how we can improve our website to make it more city friendly and not so municipal, which I agree with. It's just, there's so many pieces we have to manage within the city. The background and the backbone is where I try to stay, because that's all I can understand for some reason. I wish it was different, but we're gonna get there, and AI will be part of all of that.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with you.
You too, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You now.
Mr. Mayor and Board, I enjoy this so much. I want to talk about having another meeting this month.
Chief, you just sort of like pointed that way.
I nominate you for the pepper eating contest the next time.
Yes, sir. But seriously, I'm on the agenda to talk about approving these minutes at a special called meeting. State law requires the board to approve the minutes, and they're not the official actions of the city until they are approved. And since we'll have a new mayor and a majority new board of aldermen come July 1st, I don't think it's fair to saddle them with trying to approve or asking them to approve these minutes from tonight. So I would propose that we have a very short special called meeting next week. Wouldn't even require the department heads to be here. We could just establish a quorum and approve tonight's minutes. And I talked to Julie before she left, and she and I think we can have a draft of these finalized by Monday, so maybe we can call it for next Tuesday at 6 p.m. And if some of y'all can't be here, we can get you on the phone just to establish a quorum and have a majority vote on the minutes, if that's okay. You thought I was kidding.
We just thought we were done.
Sorry.
We don't need a motion on that.
No, sir, I just wanted to let you know that I think that's the best idea and didn't want you to be surprised about it when that's done next week.
Is that all right with you, Alderman Young?
Absolutely.
All right with all of y'all? All right, all right. Mr. Campbell, since we all made our farewell speeches, and then you told me we gotta come back and do it again. But
No
while we have a
speeches.
few living people out here, I want to thank you for your services to the city. Long before me, you've been a rock in your advice, and you don't hesitate to tell me when I'm wrong, and I certainly appreciate that. I wish you and your family well. So,
Thanks, Mayor. Been my pleasure.
do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion by Alderman Young. Do we have a second? Who? Alderman Bostic? All right. We have a motion by Alderman Young, a second by Alderman Bostic. Any discussion? Roll call, please, Mr. Jim.
Alderman Klein.
Aye.
Alderman Bledsoe.
Aye.
Alderman Geis.
Aye.
Alderman Bostic.
Nay.
Alderman Johnson.
Aye.
Alderman